What a day, boys. Let's go, boys. In tight, Oh, that's it, boys. That's it. Yeah, boy. That's what we want. Love that energy, boys. Love that energy. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Come on.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with gold and soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Come on, guys!
Come on, boys. Let's go.
Dylan Quirk will meet him there. So we're about underway for the 2018 SEFNL Grand Final. The ball gets thrown up. Shinners wins the tap down, but it's Berwick with the clearance. The hurried kick forward up to the half-forward flank. Bouncing football. Leading the race there is Jellyman Turner. Tries to trap it with his leg, then a nice little tap down to Rutherford. He gets his kick away. Deep inside forward 50. Big punch there coming from Thomas. It's actually cleared everybody and gone through for a behind. So the first score in the 2018 Grand Final is that behind. And Berwick lead 1 point. Narre Warren yet to score. We've gone 30 seconds of play here on KC Radio. Kane Pollard, Jared Healy and the Doc throughout the afternoon. So it's a short little kick in. Goes to the Zeitsman in the pocket. He goes along. Flying there from behind was Cox, who couldn't mark. Good to see Luke Shepherd back out there for Berwick after a heart scare which saw him miss the previous game. So interesting start. It is wet, but the ground is in good condition so far. As the throw in, big punch forward there by Berwick to a dangerous position, but reading it best was Collins. He just hoiks the hand pass into space. Running onto it was Quirk. Takes it on the bounce. Dylan Quirk spearing short pass, really gave his forwards no opportunity, and leaving his man and taking a nice mark on the outer side. Looks like it's Joseph West. So Berwick will load up for another kick inside forward 50. McNamara was there, but he allowed Money in to fly. He couldn't complete the mark, but the kick around the body. Vacant goal square bouncing through. Money's kicked the first goal. It's gone the way of Berwick, and they lead 1-7 to Narre Warren yet to score.
Oh, disappointing turnover from your captain. There's a just slow spearing pass, as you said, didn't give his forwards much option, and Joe West got in there, took a nice intercept mark, and a big kick into the forward line. Harry Money went for the big fly, didn't get it, but landed on his feet, recovered well to snap a goal.
The crowd has definitely built up. We've only been going for a minute, and Berwick are off to the perfect start. They lead by 7 points, and Narre Warren are yet to really have any sort of impact in this game. The ball to be thrown up for the second time at Shinners, and also big Matthew Young in the middle. No clear winner, but going back with the football there. Nice work by Tuck to find Brennan. Brennan went for a short option and lacked sort of any direction with his pass, and cutting it off with the intercept mark there was Quirk. Quirk goes out to centre wing where Tonner takes the mark. Wheels around on the right boot, goes long inside forward 50. There's Berwick players spare. 4 or 5 at the drop of the football. The Wickers get the clearance up towards centre wing where Thomas flies. He couldn't complete the mark in front of Josh Tonner. Has the time to wait. Some patient football on the outer side there by the Wickers. They've worked themselves out of trouble now for a hurried kick forward. Narre Warren with the numbers hit, nicely trapped there by Davies. Inside hand pass to Quirk, kicks it up there looking for Tonner in the long sleeves. It was actually Scalzo who couldn't mark, but they've kept the football in possession here, Narre Warren. But as you can see, Mitch Cox was wrapped up in a strong tackle, and he's been penalised for... Oh, he's picked up the free kick for too high. Could have gone either way. So Cox takes the free kick inside forward, looking for Cody. And that was a courageous mark taken there by Young. So he's gone back into the fence. Berwick have 4 or 5 players here broadcast side of the ground. One of them is Rutherford, and that was a good pass there by Young.
He was well shepherded off the ball, but I think it was Tim Gunn too, just kept his player out of it, made a one-on-one contest.
So Rutherford goes short where West takes the mark. So inside defensive 50. Just prepared to hold on to it all. That's a dangerous kick there by West. Made it hard for Gunn, who couldn't mark. Scalzo overruns it. The ball spills to Zeitzman. He's hurried, kick forward, inside forward 50. Made it hard there for Nick Scanlon. Had 3 or 4 players that beat.
Free kick.
They're appealing for holding the football, but wasn't paid. As Jared's alluded to, there has been a free kick paid in that contest. It's gone the way of Nick Scanlon.
Too high, I think the umpire signalled.
Now, Scanlon probably hasn't had the season he would have liked in terms of hitting the scoreboard. But this will be a great way to start the grand final from the pocket. Looks good off the boot, but it goes across the face. They fly. No marks. Those hit the point post and no score there for the Magpies. So we have gone nearly 4 minutes of play in this first quarter. You're listening to KC Radio 97.7 FM. It is Berwick leading by 7 points. Narre Warren yet to score, but they're doing all the attacking at the moment. Throw in. Richardson loses the front position too easily. The ball spills to Cox. Cox around the body, won't make the distance. And taking a nice mark there on the last line of defence was Risley.
I think it was on the very last line too, but it looks like he stepped off across the line after he marked it.
So Risley goes towards the scoreboard side of the ground. 3-on-1 contest in favour of the Wickers, but they're having some problems clearing their defensive 50 as Tonner runs onto a loose football, has a shot on goal, but it goes out of bounds on the full. So for all their peppering, they're yet to score. There was 3 or 4 players in the corridor there that they missed. Crucial mistakes like that, when you can't get your scoreboard pressure up and going, could be vital in the grand final, Jared Healy.
Yeah, and it's funny how they're more crucial in a grand final too. You need to take those chances early.
A long kick out towards the outer side. Morozov was there but couldn't mark for Berwick. The ball gets punched down. Pack forms. And we're going to see the ball thrown up. Doc has made his way back into the broadcast position. Doc, did seem to be a big atmosphere down there at ground level for the grand final.
Oh, huge congregation around the boundary line now. There's hardly a spot on the fence available.
As Collins breaks free out of the pack, he goes long, but it goes across the face and just trickles over the boundary line to the right-hand side point post. So they're doing well to hold up Berwick's run out of defence at the moment, but it's not resulting in any scoreboard pressure. They trail by 7 points. 5.5 minutes into the first quarter of the grand final. Richardson tries to do the ruck work. Berwick have the numbers going through. Scalzo couldn't get it. Berwick get the clearing kick out. Cutting it off though was Stagg. Tapped up the foot. Brought to ground by Magna. No free kick paid. Zeitzman gets the football. Has to hand pass late. But the umpire's paid a free kick there for incorrect disposal.
Yeah.
Was it a throw?
I think it was Magna saying that to the umpire, and the umpire's gone, yeah, that's right, James.
5 minutes into the first quarter, and all the Wickers bench are desperate, putting their hands up to try and get a rotation in.
Long kick forward. Bailey, the Basher Ash has just come on for his first run in the grand final as well. They get the ball up towards centre wing. Rutherford tries to get a kick away in traffic. Partially smothered. Ball bobbles away there towards Jellyman Turner. And very close to that interchange bench boundary line on centre wing. We'll see the ball thrown in. 7 points the margin in favour of Berwick. They've looked better going forward, but Narre Warren have definitely had better possession in the last 3 minutes of play. Going through there was Travis Tuck. Strong tackle by Myatt. And how's the umpire seen it? Oh, incorrect disposal, but Myatt's just...
big tackle.
Oh, there's some stuff going on off the play. Stagg, but Myatt was lucky not to give away that free kick the way he went and ruffled up Travis Tuck. So Myatt, just defensive side of centre wing, takes the free kick. It's a long kick forward. Up they fly. Wilson gets pushed out of it. At the back of the pack there for Berwick was Magna. Found West. Go towards Tom Brennan in space, but the kick just goes over the top of his head and it will skid over the boundary line in front of a looks like a Berwick crowd out there near the scoreboard.
You can tell Magna's getting into the play a bit because he's been put on the ground twice.
And Rutherford's just at the back of the pack there, so I'll let you guys look at the matchups. Everyone has moved up beyond the centre square now, so there's no one inside forward 50 for Berwick at the moment, as there's a hurried kick out of that pack. It's gone So the free kick off the play was it? It must have been in the rucking contest.
The ball did go over the line for out of bounds though.
It did, no, but Shinners has the free kick on the half forward flank there, Doc. So something must have happened in the rucking contest. The big man Shinners goes long. They need a mark. They've been peppering this all afternoon. Wilson has 3 to beat, couldn't do so. Asher goes in, hurried kick forward, back to where Shinners was just standing, and he's taking the mark on his chest. Not the best brand of football at the moment, but Narre are doing well to really force Berwick into some mistakes trying to clear defensive 50. Shinners goes back inside, looking for Richardson, 2 to beat, up they fly. Ball spills down there towards the Scalzo. He couldn't keep it in the field of play and it goes out of bounds.
And you can see in this style of football, you've got all players, that's all of them from both sides, in Narre's half of the ground.
The crowd has definitely built up as the game has started here for the seniors. Shinners gets a punch forward to a dangerous position. Fresh area off the ground there by Ash Smith. Failed to execute. Narre Warren, can they get the ball out? They do to Scalzo. He has a shot on goal, but unfortunately for Scalzo and the Magpies, it goes through for a behind. 6 points the margin. 8.5 minutes gone here of the first quarter on KC Radio 97.7 FM.
Slightly different setup in the Berwick bench today. Stuart Kempington is down there with his troops and one-on-one.
Short kick in there by Smith, finds Brennan. Yes, his broadcast position, his coaching position is not available at the moment. Kick up to the half-back flank where Shepherd takes the mark. Get out of it, Shantuzzi, as they get the ball up towards centre wing. That was a courageous attempt there by Myatt. He knew the pack was coming, but he still went back with the flight of the football and took that mark on his chest. Liam Myatt on centre wing, goes long. They need a one-on-one contest inside forward 50. Shinners flew, couldn't complete the mark. The ball spills to Quirk. Quirk has a shot on goal and that's missed.
Well, they're playing all over Berwick at the moment because they're actually now holding their positions a lot better than Berwick.
They're rebounding better.
Well, all Berwick's forwards are getting dragged right into Narre's half of the ground, so that quick kick from Shepherd after he took the mark played on, all he did was kick it to the Narre Warren.
Well, it's quite easy when Berwick keep kicking into the same flank. Looks like Smith's going to change it though and bring it out here, broadcast side of the ground. Cirillis with the marking option. He arrives late, gets a punch of the football, but at ground level the Magpies have the numbers. The hand pass backward there by Stagg missed its target as Rutherford was quite happy just to soccer that ball over the boundary line in front of where the players come onto the ground.
And you just see a little interesting thing there was, I can't see if you know who it was coming off the ground, I can't see a number yet, but when he was coming off he made sure he made contact with Rutherford.
I see Karim Biscaya just in front of us drinking in the non-drinking zone, being told to move along. The kick out of the pack there by Narre Warren goes forward to the half-forward flank. Once again, they couldn't find somebody to take the mark and the ball's going to be thrown up.
You'd say that carefully to him because Kane's there as well.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Doesn't seem to be any tagging roles in the midfield at the moment. Everyone's running free.
Wilson's in the ruck, big tap down, going through though. Rutherford taps it to himself, then gets brought to ground. Was he held on to? No free kick was paid. Tonner's working hard there. The ball comes out towards Cody. He slips over at the final stage, tapped it out there towards, is that Tommy Miller in the long sleeves? It is. He's thrown his body in. Tough football to win.
Yes, really, isn't it?
Line. Cody goes in and applies a tackle on. That was Arthurson, and the ball's going to be thrown in. They've had the ball now for 5 minutes. They've scored 2 behinds. When I say 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes inside their attacking zone. Who's going to wilt? Will it be the Berwick defence or will it be the Narre Warren attackers? They're going in numbers here as the ball gets thrown in. Football on the ground means players are diving on top of it. And we're going to see the ball thrown up just inside the paint of 50. Narre Warren attacking towards the food truck end here this afternoon.
Jesse Davies picking up Morozov in the back line.
Wilson goes with a double tap there, didn't work out. Going through Young, collects one high, no free kick paid. Collins was held onto. The umpire's blindsided. Berwick defence under some pressure. Oh, Asher, he's taken too long to try and get that hand pass away. Is he sitting on top of the football? How the man in green said? He says, no, I'll have it. And the ball's going to be thrown up directly in front of Narre Warren's attacking goal. They trail by 5 points. Up they go. Wilson, big tap down. Players fall over. There's a player out the back. It's Collins. He had more time than what he realised, and his hurried shot on goal goes across the face. It was a really ugly kick in the end, and the ball's going to be thrown in.
Well, it's funny things. He had more time than he thought. A player of Collins' experience should know he's still got that time in the grand final.
Funny, McNamara's letting Connolly run free across here in the forward line too.
Throw in, doing it with no opponent there was Shinners, but he's punched forward, went straight to the Berwick defenders. They've cleared it out. It's been cut off once again. That time by McNamara. Failed to execute with the kick. Cody slides in over the top. Couldn't get the ball. Strong tackle applied there by Jellyman Turner on Quirk. I don't know about this angle, boys. I'm not enjoying it, but the ball's going to be thrown up 40 metres out directly in front. Shinners, oh no, Young's gone over the top, and Shinners has earned himself a free kick.
Was that two up?
What's he supposed to do?
Was there two up in the ruck then?
What was Young supposed to do? It wasn't it was too high. The umpire signalled too high. Shinners had the front position. Young should be allowed to go over the top to tap it down, I would have thought.
Can be tiggy touch sometimes, can't it, KP?
Unless he had one hand over his shoulder, which he did in the boundary throwing out here. He had
the umpires are closer than us. They've done a great job all year, have the SUA umpires.
See if he can hit the food truck.
Yeah, so Shinners, this is a big kick. Narre Warren can look to take the lead for the first time in the grand final. They're trailing by 5 points. The distance won't test him. He needs to be accurate. He tried to just guide it through, and it's gone across and through for a behind. Not the start that Matt Shinners was looking for this afternoon if you're a Narre Warren supporter. They're 3 behinds, trailing Berwick 1-1-7. It's been a tough start to this grand final, 13 minutes into the first quarter.
You'd be happy with the amount of ball they're getting, but just not their accuracy in front of goal.
Now that's a massive kick in. It's gone all the way of 70 metres. That's one way to get past the Narre Warren defence. And the ball's come to Rutherford. He's gone off one step. Long kick forward, looking for Gunn. Seatsman's all over him. Is that a free kick? No. McNamara going back with some support. He gets his kick up towards centre wing. Taking the nice mark there was Quirk. He goes inboard where Myatt's in space. He can go right across to the whip at Sorozinski. That option's ignored. So Myatt now has to kick it long. There is a player there. It's Jackson. He's had his arms fully stretched. And it's gone off hands, but it's out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, so he's obviously just trying to grab that, but unfortunately didn't get it. And
Thought it bounced off his bicep, didn't it? We'll leave that one.
Got no Gardner out here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Pipes the Gardner from Cranbourne, but the kick in found Hillard. Scoreboard side of the ground where Hillard goes long. Leaning over the top there was Davies. He gets his punch away. At the foot of the ball, once again, the Magpies have the numbers. They get another entry inside forward. They're looking for Nick Scanlon, but closing in there was Joseph West from the Wickers. Big relieving punch away into the pocket, and it goes out of bounds. We have gone 14 and a half minutes here of the last dance, the last ever SEFNL grand final, and it's 4 points the margin in favour of Berwick, and they're probably lucky to be in front, but haven't made the most of their best opportunities so far, Jared Healy.
That's right. I think Matt Shinners has got it worked out well at the moment.
Well, Berwick, chain of hand passes there. Andrews really made it hard for Rutherford. Has been brought to ground. I see the Kermit squat, he said, holding the ball. So that's a big call there. Shinners imposing himself with some physicality in the contest. Wrapped up Rutherford, who was flat-footed, wasn't ready for the third hand pass. It went Asher, Andrews. Andrews said, bang, I don't want it. And unfortunately for Rutherford, he was a sitting duck and he's been penalised.
Might be
That's
crucial.
not Shinners.
Might be crucial, this goal too, because it's a dark cloud that's come over the ground right now. It's going to absolutely pour, I think.
Is it Cox with the ball?
I think it might be.
It is, yeah. He's recovered from that, what looked to be an ankle injury late in the game last week. He's a good shot on goal. He shouldn't miss. Mitch Cox has. Wow, 4 behinds.
Yeah, disappointing, isn't it? Again, Shinners will be happy that they've got heaps of the ball and making all the play. Just they can't put it on the scoreboard.
No, they can't.
And they're still, Berwick still have a 3-point lead deep into this, or halfway through this first quarter.
Hasn't probably lived up to the expectations. No fireworks.
It could happen.
Oh, it won't take much to ignite.
Just a tight tackle over the boundary line.
Another long kick in towards the outer side. Young was there. Was that Cirillis who flew? Couldn't complete the mark. This is where Narre Warren have been dominating with the numbers around the football, but Berwick have worked it out to centre wing, but once again, just waiting for it there was Collins. He's got a spearing pass inside forward 50. His forwards were caught out of position, so it's Berwick with the clearing kick up now towards the half-forward flank. Zeitsman's leading gun to the contest, and happy for that ball to go out of bounds.
That's the best result for Berwick, because again they had no one in their forward line to kick to, and every time they are kicking they were 2 to 1 outnumbered.
We can just see the amount of players on that side of the ground now. There is no one here broadcast side, so there's no intention to switch. It's just going to be move that ball, get as much meterage as possible. So throw in, Young taps it down. Berwick get the ball out towards Matty Andrews. Over the top now to Jellyman Turner, needs to be clean. Collects the ball on the bounce. Goes into the pocket. Caught out of position there was Morozov. He was ball watching and didn't get himself into position. Davies takes a nice mark on the last line of defence for the Narre Warren.
Yeah, they're lucky to get out of that, and bad play by Morozov then, because they could have marked in gold.
They had the lines broken, didn't they?
Oh, big collision of bodies there from Davies' kick. Getting Shepherd out of it was Collins, but earning himself a free kick there was Matty Andrews. So it could have gone either way, I thought, of that collision of bodies in the centre of Edmund Flack. But it's now Magna, with the free kick. Goes inside forward 50. Flying early there was Connolly. He was really up before acceptances. The ball floated over his head and it's bounced and gone out of bounds.
I think he's just waving to the crowd then.
He was wanting to have an impact. Has been a free kick. It's gone the way of Berwick. Kick inside forward 50.
That's disappointing, isn't it?
That's off the side of the boot. And taking a nice mark there for the Magpies was Foot. He goes to centre wing looking for Richardson. Cyrillis did well at ground level. Though Cyrillis has gone in a second time. Shepherd overruns it. Jackson gets held without it. Stagg gets the hand pass back to Foot, who now goes to Scalzo. Tries to run away from the big man. Does well, Scalzo. Kick around the body though made it hard. And taking a nice mark there for Berwick is Reece Piper. So Piper goes inside to the centre square where he's found the Berwick player in Brennan. That's actually, Hillard. Hillard brings it out to the pocket. Stock and finds Magna.
I was going to say they're setting up really well here, Narre. They've got no options and Magna's waving him forward.
So Magna now's been called to play on, so has to go long. Morozov's there. Getting a jump at the ball though was Wilson. Couldn't complete the mark. Shepherd's gone in. Quite a strong tackle. Also Morozov on the Narre Warren defender there. Is that Foot getting tackled and brought to ground. Red hot. Still appealing the decision. Shepherd gets the hand pass to Smith from outside 50. Smith is loaded up. Bang. Smith has gone bang. There's a jump on the goal line by Miller, but I don't think he's touched it.
That hurts.
Something out of nothing there for Berwick with Smith with the long range goal. That's Berwick's second goal of the afternoon. They go to 2-1-13 out to a 9-point lead. We have gone 19 minutes of play on KC Radio 97.7 FM.
They've been so disciplined, Narre, in their structures, keeping their back line there where Berwick's forwards are all pushing up and they've been kicking to no one out of their back line, but they forgot Ash Smith does provide that run at a set shot. He comes from behind and he certainly did that time with a beautiful goal.
So Berwick making the most of their opportunities early. Quirk gets the clearance, gets the hand pass out. Scalzo's going to use his foot rather than putting his body in there, and he's caught Shepherd.
He kicked the ball though, so that's interesting.
Weird free kick, but anyway, it's Berwick the beneficiaries from there as they bring it out now through Jellyman Turner, who finds Magna sliding in, taking the mark on his chest. He could sense the player was on. It was the basher, Bailey Asher, leading the KC Radio Finals MVP award. He's taking the mark on the half forward flank, goes into the pocket. Seatsman flies, caught out of position, punch away by McNamara. Loose football going back with the flight of the football. There was Connolly, but he couldn't get a boot onto the ball when it goes through for a point as the Magpies try and move it quickly now as McNamara goes to Miller. Miller finds Tonner, just clears defensive 50 now and goes long up towards centre wing where Collins flies. He couldn't complete the mark. Ben King has to go back onto Smith. Corralled. Smith does well. Kick around the body was touched. The umpire said play on. No one took the mark anyway, so it doesn't matter. They're trying to get it out now through Piper, who tried to find Smith on centre wing by hand. Misses its intended target and it goes out of bounds.
This game's just lifted a little bit now, hasn't it? The players have sort of run out those nerves and we're away with a good game of football, we hope.
And players are trying to break off and break it open too.
We've got some room in the van here if you need. The ball gets thrown in there on centre wing.
She acknowledged you. With all those gumboots she's wearing too.
Sort of threw you that, didn't it?
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Dylan Quirk
back of the range
goes inside forward 50 where King, playing an offensive forward role this afternoon, taking the mark. That's
that on the blue as well?
Yeah, King goes into the pocket. It's a long kick. Fortunate takes the front position, but Risley just punches it towards the boundary line. A former winner of the KC Radio Finals MVP award.
The inaugural winner.
Yeah, no, wasn't it Chris Fletcher?
No. Oh yeah, well, I forgot about him.
He's still getting the kick.
He just ran off with the check, got the check and ran.
Went straight to the bar. The Magpies have a blazing shot on goal from the clearance, but didn't get any purchase on it. Piper, dangerous. Soccer out of mid-air. Bouncing ball there for Scalzo. Goes back by hand to Foot. He was dispossessed, then gets bumped. Berwick have the numbers. I've got some little peeps just sitting in front of me, putting me off. And the umpire's going to go in and call a free kick the way of Basher. No, definitely not. Basher has the free kick inside defensive 50. He goes out now towards centre wing. What are you looking at, Bill? The long kick forward as Wilson takes a mark on his chest. It's grand final day. And now the Magpies look to build on this outer side once again. The long kick forward. They need a mark. Up they fly. Or Cirillis has gone in, cleared the pack. The ball spilt to Collins. The kick around the body won't make the distance. And a courageous effort there by Joseph West to take the mark on his chest. Looks to play on quickly, where Rutherford will take the mark.
And just set his up while he's waiting for his teammates to come across to this side of the
I
ground.
was going to send out another invitation as Rutherford goes long. Money's there, flies in. The ball goes over the pack. Risley drops it. And at the bottom of the pack there was Money. He's been tackled by Scalzo, and the umpire decides to throw it up. The rain is just teeming down now as people scurry to try and find a better position to watch this game of football. Wilson flies in, uses Cirillis as a step ladder, couldn't get any purchase on it. The ball goes down to Bailey Asher. Geez, they're playing him type this afternoon.
And Wilson a bit slow to get up, bit ginger on that ankle.
Yeah.
You see him rubbing that left ankle.
We'll keep our eye on that, Jared. Oh, he feints Cirillis, and he went through and left the football behind. Jack Tonner comes up. He's been tackled there by Brennan. Ball spills out of that contest and over the boundary line on centre wing. Tonner wants to go on it.
A bit willing there. Yeah, was that double jeopardy with the ruckman there, going up for no one leaving it?
He was kind of feigned into it to go Cirillis, and Wilson wasn't prepared to jump into it.
So coming down heavy now.
Yeah, it is very heavy.
Yeah, we can see it's all right. The ball gets thrown back up. Quirk tries to work his way out. He's taking the pack with him. Is that in the back? No, the umpire will go in and throw it up. I thought the pack just propelled forward on Quirk, but no. Score check in case you're just listening. It's 2-2-14, the Wickers, leading Narre on 4 behinds.
Wilson's done it again, but Cirillis got hands to it that time.
It's going to be the clearance for the Magpies.
Didn't have it.
You can't. That's where the umpires have just got to relax a bit with these conditions now, because the ball's going to slip out of hands.
I think he handballed it and he kept pulling him down, that's why.
I can see Luke B. Hugo just struggling in the conditions. He's not used to the wet weather.
And Minot and Shepherd are having a bit of a dust up.
Karim's just giving us a knock on the door.
Jeez, that just scared me. I was trying to climb in.
It's maybe without his drink this time too.
Didn't he put a bounty on my head at one stage? The ball's going to
he increased it for him.
The ball's going to be thrown in. Gee.
And then that girl who you asked in the van just increased it again.
Yeah. Back with the play. The ball gets thrown in. No winner. It goes back out of bounds to the right-hand side point post. 10 points the margin in favour of Berwick.
It's just going a bit of a stalemate now.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
I was going to say they really need a goal here now. They need some fruit.
They need a goal, you're right, Doc. As the throw in, Morozov now in the ruck taps it down. There's just so many players around this football. Scalzo, hurried kick forward, reading it best there was Risley. Under pressure, he just goes with a hack kick forward. Bouncing there for Cody, gets bumped out of it. Smith goes in, didn't bend over, tried to soccer it. The ball came to Miller.
Plucked out a free kick, the umpire.
Is that holding the football? No, it's gone the other way to Narre Warren for something off the play.
Is that Cody?
Is it Cody?
Tommy Miller, is it? No,
I think it's Cody's got it.
It looks like
no, sorry, it wasn't
Tom
Cody.
Miller. It's Tom Miller. I think the first tackle was high. The ball progressed and the umpires brought it back to pay the free kick.
Yeah, that's
So
good,
Miller.
the first one there. It's good when they spot the first one.
Sorry.
Go.
All right, so Miller from outside 50. This is a big kick. He can reduce the margin to only 4 points. He's got the distance, but not the accuracy, unfortunately. Did look good off the boot, didn't it, Doc? The margin's 9 points in favour of Berwick.
And to come back out quickly again.
Well, this is better play by the Wickers. They've been bottled up for a while as Asher now tries to dance his way through traffic. They get their kick forward now, the Wickers. Bouncing football. McNamara in his last game of senior footy just sockets it forward. The Magpies have the numbers at the contest. Cox does well. Hand pass out towards Miller. Slips over at the wrong time. Smith, will he bend over once and get the football? No, he gets bumped out of it there by Cody, who then dragged over the boundary line. And we'll see the ball thrown in on the half-forward flank for Narre Warren on the outer side.
It's real wet weather football at the moment, isn't the ball spending a lot of time on the ground. Some players want to pick it up, some don't. Just scrummaging the ball forward this way or that way.
It's usually an indicator on days like this which players go in because they end up the muddiest. If you got clean shorts on a day like this, have you gone hard enough? You ask yourself that for 12 months during pre-season. Scalzo kicks the ball forward, but taking the front position now. That mark should have been paid to Piper, but cleaning up there was Risley. He's got the hand pass now to Brennan. Kick up towards centre wing. Needed to hit its target. Made it tough work there for Jellyman Turner. Josh Turner did well not to give away the free kick. Soccering the ball forward for Magpies was Foot. Cutting it off though there on the outer side was Heddles. He got bumped out of it. The ball spills to Nick Scanlon. He's gone with a short pass to Cox off one step. Kicks the ball inside forward 50 and Cody got worried out of it. Dropped the mark. Will there be a chance? No. Good work there by Travis Tuck. He used his height to his advantage. Managed to cause the spoil. Avoided body contact and then got the ball over the boundary line. 9 points the margin in favour of the Wickers.
It was good, wasn't it? Just put his arm up there as well and didn't make contact with Cody.
Watched the trajectory of the ball and just got his head around at the right time not to infringe.
So throw in. Shinner taps it towards the back. Jackson was going back after the football, got dumped out of it. Rutherford working hard, slaps it towards Shepherd. Oh, geez, it's a tough footy in there. Rutherford had his head taken as he tried to get a hand pass away. There's 4 or 5 players just diving on the top of it. And the umpire will go in and throw it up. 27 and a half minutes gone to this first term, Doc.
I was going to say, it's a sea of fluoro boots just going everywhere in that pack then.
They would have had a few new arrivals this week, knowing that they'll be on the Game Face and Casey Radio live stream, that's for sure. The bright boots get you a few extra possessions as Smith kicks the ball up now towards centre wing. Wanting the ball more there was Miller. Tapped into the path of a teammate. Now they've got some run here, the Magpies. They get the kick forward. Will they find somebody there? No. Vacant space inside forward 50. Scaling that 3 to beat. Over around the football. Spilled to Risley. Risley waited. Perfectly passed.
Great mark.
Good mark.
It was a perfectly weighted pass. And Arthurson did his best to make that look a little bit more difficult than what he was, but nice mark that taken on the half-back flank. So Arthurson now has been called to play on, goes long. They need a mark. Connolly will fly. Young's there. No one can mark. Doing the roving was Foot. Hand pass to Stagg. His kick there was partially smothered by Travis Tuck. Gone about 30 metres, ricocheted towards Josh Tonner, who was a bit of a unicorn, sort of prancing, sort of jumping at the football, then got tackled by Connolly and brought to ground on centre wing.
His horn.
Stuart Kempin wouldn't have been happy with that last marking contest. 3 Berwick players went up and sport each other.
Oh, so it's a hot football. It's like soap. Shepherd got the hand pass to Magna. Comes out to Brennan. He won't beat Sorosinski for pace. Sorosinski slips over. Oh, it's like the hair. He's just hunting him down there, Sorosinski. He's caused a turnover. It's gone to Scalzo. He goes up to the half-forward flank through the hands of Joseph West. Can Jackson get back after it? He does. He sockets it forward. Well, waiting for it there was Morrison for the Wickers. It's been tackled strongly and brought to ground. No free kick paid. Dancing through there. That was a strong tackle applied. Was that on Collins going through for the Magpies? They've surged it all the way to the goal square. Can they get it through? No. Arthursen's there for the Wickers. Was he brought to ground about the football? The umpire says play on. Arthursen goes in a second time. He needs to be clean. Coming up to meet him there was Cox. He's dropped the football. Has fallen to Nick Scanlon, who's just kicked it sideways.
He had a bit of everything, didn't he?
He wasn't even looking anywhere near the goals. And it's gone out of bounds on the full.
He just picked it up to kick.
Michael Risley will be really annoyed with himself there because he had it spent before he got rid of it then. When it came in.
There's a few Berwick players like that. Arthurson did it as well, so nerves are still there.
It's been a tough first quarter of grand final football. The long kick in from the pocket has found Travis Tuck.
Good mark considering Richardson came over the top and just started to spoil. The old-fashioned backman spoil.
We have some sunshine here now as Travis Tuck. A little bit up and under. Young flew, took his eyes off it, couldn't complete the mark. Money was there, did well, got the kick forward, but as you can hear in the effects mic, that's all she wrote for the first quarter of the 2018 SEFNL Grand Final. It's now Berwick 2-2-14 are leading Narre Warren by 5 behind. How short is it to the wing? So the ball's going to be thrown up for the second quarter with Berwick leading by 9 points. Sun out, but still very wet conditions here for the second term. Travis Tuck gets a socket up towards the half-forward flank. Thomas tries a break 3 from the tackle. Couldn't do so. His inside hand pass misses his target. McNamara goes in, tries a soccer at free. Couldn't do so. It's another contested football. Scalzo gets brought to ground. And that's actually Josh Tonner at the bottom of the pack there for the Magpies, and the ball's going to be thrown up. So if you're just tuning in, you wouldn't realise how much rain's been dispersed in that first term. Cody, tap forward. Brennan does well, gives a don't argue, gets the hand pass out now to Shepherd. From long range, Shepherd loads up. Doesn't get the, contact on the brute that he was looking for. Magna's now gone forward. He couldn't keep the ball in the field of play, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, usually that's to provide a bit of grunt work in the forward line. Captain throws Magna forward for about 10 minutes. We saw him get a couple of kicks out here, found his way loose, broke loose on the wing in the first quarter.
So throw in. We've seen most of the attacking done at the food truck end here at Edmund Flack in this grand final. Ball bobbling around, no clear winner, so Shinners just soccer hack kick forward up towards the half forward flank. Jackson did well, tapped the ball to himself, but the hand pass it in the space. Cutting it off nicely was Piper. He's been quite productive in that first quarter. The Magpies, they get their kick forward. That was by Toner, but no one was there in the black and white at all when taking the mark was Risley. He kicks it out towards centre wing, finds his partner in crime, Ash Smith. Long kick forward by Smith. The marking contest, players fall to ground, no free kick. The Magpies try and get it going once again through Toner. Off the one step, flying in from the side there was Richardson. Failed to have an impact in that first term. It's going to be repelled once again as Rutherford gets the hand pass to Piper. Rides a tackle of Collins. Gets the kick forward. They need a mark. Caught at the back there was Money. He brought the ball to ground. Strong tackle applied by Shinners on Magna. Coming back through now is Shepherd. Goes onto the right side. Kick around the body. Won't make the distance. They compete. And Scalzo in the goal square. Or is that Stagg? We'll give it to Stagg. Has managed to tap it through. And the first score of this second term is a behind. It goes to Berwick. They go to 2-3-15. Out to a 10-point lead. Dangerous little risky kick in there, Jared.
Very risky, yeah. Magna almost got there, but they came off for Narre.
Foot taking the free kick. He goes, Drew had Gunn at full stretch, but the ball went to Stagg. Stagg goes to Davies, wasn't clean. Forced him into some pressure situation. Coughed the football up to Gunn. Kick around the football, bouncing football. Magna was good. Got the hand pass there to Money. Stood in the tackle. The ball spills to Gunn. Gunn doesn't miss from point blank range.
Some heavy work in there by both sides. Big bumps, big crashes, and ball came out to Gunn and got it well nicely. Was it right foot snap?
It was a right foot snap, and they were all just waiting in line, just taking in turns to go bash their way through to try and pick up that greasy ball off the ground there, and finally the bullocking work of Tim Gunn came through.
Well, no, he did play with fire. The two risky kicks out of their back line, and then the handball didn't come off at all, dropped short, and Berwick pounced on it. Jimmy Magna does manage his own time up in the forward line at the start of each quarter, so it'll be interesting how much time he wants to spend up there. He just manages everything, doesn't he? He does. Jimmy Magna, I'll do what I like, when I like.
Whatever. You finished? Yeah. 2018 SEFNL Grand Final on KC Radio, the live feed through Game Face. Big punch down there by Young. They got a few of the clearances in the first quarter, but it's been all Berwick now. When I say we, it was Narre Warren as Jellyman Turner gets a long kick inside forward 50. Connolly comes out to meet it, then overran it, but kept the ball in the field of play. Connolly's hit a shot from the boundary line. It's gone through for a goal, but he's been robbed.
The umpire called it a long way out.
He was 80 metres away from the play, and he's called him out of bounds as Connolly's just snagged one from the pocket.
The whistle was early.
I know. But he's still taken away from the theatre of local football, and he was a long way away.
And the central umpire was conferring with the goal umpire, who was further away than the boundary umpire, and then decided
he's made the decision, so you have to support it.
That's exactly right.
He's not going to change his mind, because umpires never change their decisions, as we know. But
the central ones never change.
Philly's having a giggle.
The ball gets thrown in. Shinners taps it down. Getting ripped off the football there was Scalzo, but the kick there from Tuck was partially smothered. Goes back to Scalzo. His hurried kick forward was close to the boundary line. Is that on the full? No. He's under some pressure there. He is.
Well, he didn't complete the mark, and who's the Berwick player you said, KP? He's throwing his arms up in the air.
It's Brennan.
Yep.
To me, from here, it looked like it.
What was that about?
I thought it crossed the line first.
I thought it hit the chest, and then he took it
out of
over
bounds
incomplete.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway.
It's a hot football down there for that youngster.
Day.
He gets a throw in. Cyrillis gets a tap down. It wasn't that some beautiful blind turning there by Asher, but ran himself into some traffic. Coughed the ball up. Hurried kick forward by the Narre Warren defence. Piper couldn't cut it off. Getting the hand pass out towards Richardson was Wilson. The big men combined well as Wilson gets a kick forward. Gave Cox no chance. He's still not 100% there. Mitch Cox is running with a limp. And he's pulled up a little bit ginger there as Wessie just gave him a tap on the high leg.
To say thank you. Yeah. Cox didn't appreciate it.
And we're going to see the ball thrown in. Well, Cox has now gone into the forward 50. There's some confusion because Shinners and Richardson have both gone deep in the forward line to try and stretch this Berwick defence. Holding on in the rucking contest. Ooh. Young's picked up the free kick. Even though Wilson had the front position, that's an interesting call.
He's tapped his leg.
It's gone the way to Gunn. So Gunn will take the free kick. Just south of defensive side of centre wing, up towards Money, got 2 to beat. He did well, the small man. Went in the second time, got ripped off by Cody. Ball spills down to Wilson. Short little hand pass to McNamara. His kick was partially smothered. Meyer slips over. Coming up to meet the football there was Heddles. Shows his experience. Long kick forward. Davies did well. He had 2 to beat there. Davies kept his eyes on the football and took a strong mark there against Thomas. He plays on, trying to get the switch happening now with the ball. Get to Collins, it does on the bounce. The maestro from Narre Warren kicks it up to centre half forward. Good shepherding of the body there by Jackson, but Wilson didn't attack the football. Punched away there by Heddles towards Smith. Smith once again decides to sock it rather than bending over to pick it up. Gets some important metres up towards centre wing in front of a huge Narre Warren crowd on that outer side. And the ball's going to be thrown in.
Do you think he's got a bit of a back issue? Because he does that a lot, Smith. If he's hot, he just won't bother about picking it up because he hasn't got the time. He can't get down quick enough.
Ball gets thrown in. I'll leave that answer to Doc. A hand pass there by Wilson. Out towards Tonner under pressure. Has passed. No, that's actually Skulls though. Sorry, hand passes it in the space, and it goes out of bounds. Ash Smith doesn't bend over for the footy. Back injury or something else.
Well, wait for the next stoppage.
Honda.
You're about as committed to Smith is to the contest. The ball gets thrown in. Spills out there by Cody. Fantastic footballer, Ash Smith. I'm just being a bit facetious in the commentary position. Don't turn me out to dry. And the ball's going to be thrown up there on centre wing.
I think his role he uses is yes, he does bend over when the ball's coming clear at him, but he's always thinking that next step and where he wants to put the ball.
Cyrillis in the ruck there. No clear winner. Oh, geez, diving on top of the football there. Was that Cody getting tackled by Rutherford on the outer side? That was tough. Cody put his body in. Yeah, it was Cody, and hitting him there was Rutherford.
Right in front of the Narre Warren tent on the far side too.
There'll be a few ferals out there this afternoon. Wilson taps it down, especially after 4 o'clock. Up towards centre wing, where Morozov trying to claim the mark, but he was
tried to mount him
by Scalzo, who went with some sort of little Hugh Bowman special, and the ball's going to be thrown up again on centre wing. Flying in, Wilson taps the ball down. Collins applies a tackle. The ball's just bobbling around there in the pack. The umpire decides to throw it up once again. Congested football, it's tight. It's high pressure, high stakes footy at the moment.
You can see both sides are now holding their structures both forward and back.
16 points the margin favourite, Berwick. Yes, Doc?
No, I was going to say exactly reiterate what Heels said, but someone's finally kicked it out of bounds in the full.
Yeah, so the free kick's gone the way of Berwick. Taken on the outer side, looks like it's Hillard. He gets plenty of penetration on his kick. Flying in there was Magna, taking the front position but couldn't mark. Berwick with the runners, trying to just use their muscle to get the ball further up the ground, but couldn't get a lot of distance covered there. Someone else trying to climb in the box. You only need permission from me. I don't like the look of you either. There's a few other ones that are probably in front of you on the line. The ball gets thrown in.
Narre needs a clearance here.
They do. So need something to bloody happen, don't we?
Yeah, it's standstill.
Talking about people wanting to get in the box.
Oh, look, I mean, we might as well get the camera over to chat to the crowd. Not much happening on the field, Billy. And where are we? Scalzo goes in now. He's got 2 to beat. Berwick players just standing on top of it. Travis Tuck slides in, tries to apply a tackle. The ball comes to Basher. Hurried kick forward, fake it forward 50. Bouncing football for Shepherd. Volley in the air. We'll get the required distance. Guns there to compete. Brings the ball to ground. Slow. Is the Narre Warren defence as Stagg gets the hand pass out to Cody. Lucks of fortune as Toner goes with the one hand. Berwick players, including Hillard, slips over. Toner got the hand pass to Ben King. He's wrapped up there by Ash Smith. The umpire say advantage played to Thomas as he breaks through the centre of Redmond. Flack goes with a short pass and finds the leading contender in the insurance advisor net, South East MVP player of the final series, Bailey Asher, and he'll be lining up for a shot on goal. 40 metres out directly in front.
Do you think Smith was lucky not to get a free kick played against him? He did hold on to King for a while.
I was going to say, you're right. One thing he can do is give a good second tackle and throw him around like a rag doll.
So Asher, he hasn't been kicking the ball well this afternoon with the pressure of the big check. It goes into the pocket. Guns coming up to meet the football. And gets pushed in the back there by Zeetzman. And slides into the fence just to add some theatre to the day.
I suppose it is a big check too. Yeah, you've got to try and mark that to mark the ball.
He's been thinking about it all week. What will he do with $500? Probably make more from us than he would playing for Berwick today, you would think. Then they're tight. The ball comes out up towards the half-back flank, and Tonner gets met heavily. Look at the numbers, though. The ball spills to Travis Tuck. Little dinky kick around the corner, trying to find Morozov, but sliding in. Is that Tim Gunn? It is. That was a good effort to keep your eye on the football and still take that mark with some traffic in front of him. He's kicked one, the only goal so far in this term. And we know about Gunn's goal-kicking ability from this sort of range. He'll go back and could extend the margin now out to 22 points in these sort of conditions. You'd think it'd be hard for Narre Warren to get themselves back into the contest. I know it's only the 11-minute mark of the second term, but all their forward line pressure is dried up in this second term. As Gunn comes in from 40 metres out, straight off the boot, then wheels around that goalpost nicely for his second goal of the quarter as the Berwick supporters rise as one. Guns kick two, and they're out to a 22-point lead at the 12-minute mark of this second term. You're listening to KC Radio 97.7 FM with Kane Pollard, Doc, and now Jared Healy.
Stuart Kemperman did say that was the scoring in the bowls end, and has been all day. We saw in the reserves they kicked a lot of goals towards that end. So, Doc, is there a big wind going down that end?
Oh, definitely coming across the top of the pavilion from the pavilion side to the countryside or scoreboard side if you're at the ground. But also just Travis Tuck, what a great little kick there. He just put the ball into space there a few seconds ago and allowed the Berwick players to run into the mark.
Back with the play. Scalzo tried to get the ball out, couldn't do so. Magnus' kick was partially smothered. Collins shepherding to get some space there for Sorozinski. Coming up to meet him though was Smith. Sorozinski goes in, bumped Smith out of it, and they'll compete on centre wing. Geez, small man. There was a big bump by Sorozinski.
Well, Smith got him first, but didn't actually put him on the ground, and Sorozinski's got, no, I'll show you how to do it, and upended Ash Smith with that bump. So yeah, it was a good contest by both players.
So the ball's going to be thrown in. Leaning over the top there was Young. Here's the clearance of the Magpies. Quirk's hand pass finds Collins in space, so he goes long. They'd love a mark inside forward 50, Wilson. And there it is. Aaron Wilson used his body well there against Joseph West. And Aaron Wilson, who's another contender in the MVP award, will line up directly in front of a shot on goal. Good work of the body there, Doc.
Crucial mark there, KP, you've called it. You said it just as the ball was coming inside 50. He's about 25 metres out, dead in front. And I'm telling you, if they don't get this, really they're going to struggle the rest of this quarter. The boys will sag the shoulders.
And shut the door on Narre if they don't get this goal.
Well,
it sounds like.
It could be. They haven't scored yet. We've gone for 13 minutes. Trying to just guide it through. Wilson's done well. That's their first goal of the grand final. It's taken us nearly a quarter and a half. Wilson's kicked his first. You were spot on, Doc, and they go to 1-5-11 at the 13-minute mark of this second term. Jared Healy.
Yeah, and that was good. They won that from the ball in on centre wing, on the far wing, got the clearance out, and yeah, it was a great marking contest by both he and West, Wilson and West, and it's one of those ones where the umpire's quick to blow, but they let go of each other at the right time, and Wilson took a strong mark.
So they broke that 4 unanswered goals by Berwick. They'd love another one here, the Magpies, as Young goes in over the top, but it's going to be the clearance here from Collins. They kick around the body, vacant half forward flank. Who's leading the race? Jackson's going hard, gets the football. He's been brought to ground there by Piper without it. Chris Tonner has nearly just broken the leg of Piper there as he slid in. He has hurt himself there on that artificial turf.
Yeah, right hip.
Why wasn't that a free kick?
Well, it should have been the Jackson in the first place. He was dragged without the ball, exactly.
Throw in, right in front of the 97.7 FM commentary position. Tap down, Young tries to do the hard roving work there himself, but he was wrapped up strongly by Dylan Quirk, and we're going to see the ball thrown up once again.
Still exercising that right hip there.
That would have hurt. Tap down, Myatt, strong tackle there by Basher. The ball spills down to Jellyman Turner, quick hand pass to Matty Andrews. Gone to the ground ball, cutting it off there was Cox. To Scalzo, tapped it to Ryan. Gibson don't argue, broke the tackle, got the hand pass to Dylan Quirk. His kick though was short. Cutting it off was Piper. Off one step, Piper goes long looking for Gunn. Richardson was there, brought the ball to ground. Gunn wanted it more than Davies. He slipped over at the wrong time though. The ball comes out to Thomas. The free kick is going to be against Morozov.
For a throw, yeah.
Jeez. Incorrect disposal, and a let off there for Davies. There's those small moments when you have to go. You win enough of those small moments, you'll win the grand final. At the moment, Narre Warren aren't. So Davies goes short and finds Shinners.
Just the last 5 minutes have stopped Berwick's run though.
Could be an option up the corridor here.
Shinners now will go long to the half forward flank where by himself there is Ryan Quirk. takes the mark on his chest. Haven't called his name too often this afternoon. Ryan Quirk. Forward of centre wing, Quirk goes long. Flying in with Wilson. Oh, that's going to be a great contested mark. Good work there by Quirk. Got the hand pass to Jack Tonner. Kick around the body. Nobody at home for the Magpies, and cutting it off nicely there was Hillard. Who'll come broadcast side centre wing, where Shepherd's going to be the option. No. Decides just to feign that and go short, where Jellyman Turner takes the mark.
That was well done, well disguised. That wasn't. It looked like he was going to kick long and just checked it.
Jellyman Turner with no option, he goes along. Flying in at the end there was Rutherford to give away the free kick. I heard a whistle, but nothing was paid. The kick forward there by Zeitsman. It's done well where Jackson's taken a mark on his chest. Too far out to score, you would think, but he sees an option. It's Michael Collins. It's gone in that direction. Good use of the body there by Brennan. He worked himself into the contest, but Brennan's kick around the body. It's going to be Shepherd and Zorosinski. Zorosinski dancing, weaving, hand pass over the top towards Scalzo. Great second effort there by Shepherd. Continues to compete as Magna goes in and just bustles that ball over the boundary line.
That was well done by Shepherd. Then they were out Narre too. They had 2 against 1, but he managed to get himself back into that contest and force the ball.
Some players lose their position in the contest when they go to ground. Shepherd just continues to fight.
Big game player.
He is one of your favourites, Jared, that's for sure. As Shinners taps it down, pack on the mill. Matty Andrews is in there as well. Magna's around the football. So Young will compete now against Shinners. Throw up. Shinners gets into Young, taps it down. There was a three or four Narre Warren players running after that loose football. It's a collision of bodies and no winner in that contest. At the bottom of the pack there was Mitch Cox, who if he was a racehorse, probably wouldn't be racing today. It does look a little bit lame in that sore ankle from last week. Now the Wickers have done well. They've worked it out to centre wing. Loose football coming up to meet it on the outer side was Stagg. He couldn't keep the ball in the field of play, and it goes out of bounds.
It's a game of inches, and both teams at the moment are just trying, taking their what's for granted and just trying to grab that little bit by little bit at the moment. No one's willing to really take any big risks.
So throw in. Oh, someone punching the van?
I think they accidentally ran into it.
Okay. Where are we? We're on the half-forward flank for the Wickers. The umpires paid a free kick. There was a bit of something happening at the back of the pack there. Rutherford's earned the free kick. Well, Scalzo's gone down. Or is that Stagg who's gone down there? And a 50-metre penalty has been awarded there. Is that for not getting the ball back in time, possibly? Not sure what the umpire's thought process was to give that free kick, and the 50-metre penalty after the free kick. But this has brought Rutherford now into goal-scoring range, and he'll go back from only, about 20 metres out, boys, directly in front, and you'd think would kick Berwick's 5th goal.
Yeah, should kick this. Scalzo's back in his feet now. There's no remonstrating, so there's nothing untoward, you'd think.
Was it Scalzo who copped one high, was it? No, I think it's Stagg, who's still in the hands of trainers. As Gunn now, as Rutherford from only 25 metres out has pushed it across the face and through for one behind. That's a let off.
Wouldn't have been Gunn missing that, would he?
I was going to say, if it was time wasting, not giving the ball back quick enough, Rutherford took his time about walking down to take the 50.
So it's
a shocker.
17 points the margin. As McNamara's decided to
you're going to check with this little fella if he's kicked it out in the full.
And Morozov decided to give McNamara how do you do and say great effort there, thanks for it.
He's having a tough day.
He's called it twice now.
Yeah, so taking the free kick is Connolly. Goes short, and taking the mark there is Travis Tuck. Now, I've never seen anyone kick a goal from that pocket like that. It would be very difficult if the angles are very sharp. It's going to be 45.
He backs himself.
45 out. Will favour. Oh no, he's gone with the left boot. That looks good off the boot. Can you believe it? If there's one player to do, it's going to be Travis Tuck, and that's a wonderful shot on goal from the pocket.
Great kick, wasn't it? Just the traditional drop punt. Didn't veer off his line. Didn't go around the corner. Any dinky stuff. Just the traditional drop punt, and from here it looked like it split the middle.
Well, it's only a slight breeze compared to about an hour ago, halfway through the last quarter, and you've got to aim for that left-hand goal post for it to push it through to the right, and he just judged it beautifully there.
And the swings in the game too. We saw Narre finally get their first goal, got it out of the middle again, and looked like they helped Berwick's run.
Throw up. Young taps it down. Quirk reading it better than Rutherford. Got a slick little hand pass out there to foot. He's hurried kick forward. Hillard goes with one hand, taps it to the path of Smith. He lopes after it now, Smith. A long penetrating kick up towards centre wing, but that's gone into the car
Into the
park.
10.
Out of bounds
10.
on the full.
One beer, please.
Yes, and you get a free football with it.
5 Cougars, please. As McNamara gets the
that's
hand
all.
pass to Sorosinski. Sorosinski
After
at the top
half-time.
to McNamara. He's in space and Edmund Flack goes into the pocket. Shinners meets the pack. Rutherford gets brought down pretty heavily. The Richardson's there, tackled by Shepherd. Also in there, Arthurson. The ball spills out the back. Getting a hurry kick forward was Scalzo. But Smith led King into that contest. Now, King, if he's going to play in the forward line, should have worked hard to get the front position. Smith goes long, where he finds Risley on centre wing. Squaring ball by Risley to Bailey. Asher off one step. Asher goes to Shepherd. He was flat-footed. He has 3 to beat now, but his second effort was good once again. Applied a tackle. It's getting a soccer forward there was Scalzo, but Berwick went out as Rutherford gets the hand pass back there towards Risley. His short pass was made to look better than what it really was there by Shepherd. No one stands the mark, so he goes long inside forward 50. Money takes the front position but couldn't mark. The Magpies have the numbers. The ball spills out towards Sorosinski, but coming through, giving it don't argue once again is Tuck. There's a player on inside forward 50. It was Thomas. All he had to do was mark it. He couldn't do so. The ball comes out there towards Magna. Bumps into Davies. Tapped towards Money. Was that too high by Stagg? No. Coming through and leaving the ball behind. Is that Brennan close to the boundary line? Thought he copped one in the back. And the umpire will throw it in. That was actually Thomas back into the contest.
Collins off, Cody on.
It's a big game players. Ash Smith down here, they worked it up. Shepherd there, not out of that contest, took a great mark, and then Tuck in there to keep the ball in.
So throw in. Shinners taps it down. Andrews was tackled strongly into the ground. And we're going to see the ball thrown up once again.
I think the Berwick stoppage work has upgraded the level this quarter, and they're certainly getting better loose ball.
Shinners doing a tower work in the middle. Oh, there was a Berwick player. There was that Gunn who's picked up the football and
Got picked
sort
up.
of sort of turned himself into the pack and copped a bump on the outside, and he's back to his feet now. So Connolly in the ruck there against Shinners. Shinners taps it down. Josh Tonner was worried out of it, trying to work hard there with Scalzo, but Matty Andrews went hard at it, got the hand pass out. Saw a big pack of football players around this football. Coming through is Tuck. Little dinky touch there to Asher. Oh, ricochet, Lux of Fortune. The ball goes to Shepherd. Shepherd has a shot on goal and it goes through for a point. That went off 2 players' ankles for Berwick and ended up into the bread basket there for Shepherd, but didn't go straight. They go to 5-5-35. Leading Narre Warren, who are stuck on their 1-5-11. Wilson's just come on, made himself an option, but McNamara
Didn't want to come out here again.
goes to the scoreboard side where there's a pack of Berwick players. They couldn't mark. The ball spills to Tom Miller. So Miller just goes along the line, trying to find the boundary line, but couldn't do so. Heddles races back. Gets the hand pass there towards Young. Goes back now to Heddles. He just hack kick forward. The line of Narre Warren defenders were there, including Shinners. And towering Trent Shinners has taken a good mark on his chest. He goes short. Tonner, that's Tommy Miller. On the defensive half-back flank will go inside defensive 50 where he's got Davey. Stagg's breaking for him. He has to go now. Stagg's going to be the option. Stagg can run. Will he go to Zeetzman? Someone needs to be moving for him. Richardson's there. You've got to go to Richardson. Coaching from the commentary position. It's a long kick. Connolly has 2 to beat there for Berwick. Did well, got the ball down towards Thomas. Connolly just slaps it back to Tuck. Tuck, worm burning pass to Harry Money. Collects it on the bounce. Got the hand pass to Shepherd. Shepherd's kick around the body. All the Narre Warren players and they crash into each other. Shinners takes the mark. Hand pass to Zorozinski. He's got Miller in support. Decides to go long. Making Scalzo work overtime to try and get there. When you've got so many players around the football, you need to work it out better than that. And it goes out of bounds. 24 points the margin. 24 minutes gone in this second term.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shepherd did the right thing, kicked to the top of the square. No one was there except 3 Maori players, and then they, instead of working it out by hand, they kicked it out.
They should have hit a target as well.
Dylan Quirk breaks free from the clearance. Skidding ball now. First onto it there was Nick Scanlon. Kicks it to himself. Heddles continues to put pressure on him. Kick around the body. It's more high up and under. Is it out of bounds on the full? It is. That's unlucky as the players compete. And we're going to see the ball, the free kick go the way of Heddles. Didn't give up the chase. Put the pressure on Scanlon. Caused the turnover.
We've seen that a lot from Berwick today, haven't we? Shepherd's second efforts have been fantastic. Magna's the same.
And they're getting their bodies lower into the contest.
Yeah, well, Travis Tuck's really imposed himself this quarter on the game as well.
So Heddles just goes long. Shinners in the front position, brings the ball to ground. Scalzo, hand pass to Trent Cody. That was slick. Kick around the body. Keeping his feet was Hillard, but getting onto the loose football was Ben King. Oh, he's kicked it like a defender. It's going across the face of goal. Arthurson tries to run away from Cox. Cox has brought him to the ground. How's the umpire going to say that? Is it Pryor when you get the football and run?
That's the thing, run. He should have either just slammed it on the boot.
He knew he was hot.
Yeah.
And he kind of just took it and took the tackle with him, but Cox wasn't rewarded. Shepherd leaves the ball behind. Narre have the numbers if they can work it out. Foot does the hard work. Shovels the hand pass out towards Cody. Shows some class. Hand pass to Richardson. There's a Berwick player down behind play. It looks like it's Arthurson. But Thomas now causes the interception. Runs away. No real option. Decides to check his kick out towards Harry Money. Has 2 to beat. Magna was front and square. Got the roving. Short hand pass there to Shepherd.
Good vision.
Under pressure by Shepherd. Gets a kick out towards Thomas. Bouncing football. Closing Thomas was McNamara. So Thomas just puts a boot on the ball and goes through for it behind.
This is getting scary now. This is 11 scoring shots, Berwick, to Narre Warren, 6 scoring shots for the game so far, even with the dominance of Narre in the first quarter for 15 minutes.
7 scoring shots to 1 in this quarter. Berwick have kicked 3 goals for Narre Warren. That 1 goal at the 13-minute mark by Wilson.
Well, Kepperman did say quarter time. This is the quarter to really put it in.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, the inclement weather could come back over again by the look of us.
Oh, don't worry about the weather, Doc. I don't think they'll be raining on Berwick's parade this afternoon, looking for their 3rd premiership in 4 years. You like that one?
Oh, beautiful.
I didn't believe
got that on tape.
Almost planned it.
McNamara, long kick out. Look, there's Singer Wickers. The ball spills to Shepherd. Off one step, has a shot on goal, and that goal umpire loves it.
The theatre.
No, he hasn't.
Close again.
That's a point.
Maybe you should check with the boundary umpire to go through. But 5-7-37.
They're aiming for those food trucks. They're just got to go a little left.
I might be hitting up those food trucks at half time. Nobody else is.
No,
hopefully the food's full.
There's plenty of hot food there, I'm imagining.
Long kick in. Narre have the numbers. But look, Berwick just putting themselves in physically, mentally. They're up for the challenge. Getting bumped off it there was Quirk. Couldn't get his kick away. Morozov. The Russian cannon just jumps on top of the pack.
This is the Berwick we saw in both finals. They're just crashing packs hard to really getting physical.
Oh, they don't mind getting dirty, Berwick. That is for sure. Hand pass there by Arthurson. Misses Smith. Narre on their hands and knees at the moment. The ball spills out to Cirillis. Long kick forward. Oh, bad bounce there for Magna. Slips over. Driving attempt to try and tackle McNamara. He's just weaved his way through traffic as a Narre Warren veteran. But his kick was intercepted there by Smith. At full run. Oh, Smith thought he could get a kick away, but a lunging tackle there by Scalzo. There will be Berwick having a blazing shot on goal. That one coming from, was that Andrews? That has gone through for a behind.
In more time than he thought too.
Imagine if that kicked straight. 5-8-38 to 1-5-11. Their last 4 scoring shots, the Wickers have been behind.
It is a scoring end down there, isn't it?
Well, the breeze is going across the ground, so
they're probably blowing into that pocket more than anything else, and if you use it properly,
like Travis Tuck did.
I think this scoring end has probably been exaggerated a bit by Berwick's dominance in this second term. We haven't seen Narre really fire a shot. As Andrews gets the clearing kick out there towards Shepherd.
Shocker.
He put himself under pressure by playing on. Diving there for the ball, or jumping high for the ball, was Connor Lee. But there was Zeetzman to punch the ball over the boundary line. What I mean is, yes, all the scoring has been down in the first half, but it's for different reasons in this second term. Narre were able to keep the ball up there, but only scored 5 behind. So if they had to kick 3-2 or something, it would be a different ball game, wouldn't it? Well, they've kicked 3 goals 5, Berwick. So you do the maths, Jared.
It's just in the reserves. All the scoring was done that end as well.
Oh,
so,
was it?
Yeah. Okay.
I know you left the banking industry for a reason. Mathematics wasn't your strong suit. As Myatt gets his kick up towards centre wing. Cooking the books. You were good at it, Jared.
Charging dead.
You heard the Royal Commission was coming.
I'm out.
Long kick aside forward. 50. Money goes with the one hand. But
he wasn't under much pressure then.
No, he was, but it was still a cop out though. It was a cop out. Don't get me wrong, but he was under very little pressure.
5-9-39 go the Wickers. Might be an insurmountable lead. As Davies gets a hand pass to Tonner. Tonner goes to King. King just hand passes back towards Tonner. Had 3 to beat, so King's got to go in a second time. Crashes the pack. The ball just bobbling out there. Was that Connolly, I think, for Berwick at the bottom of the pack, was it? Yes, it is.
I'm going to question this time. Did Tonner have the ball then, guys?
Well, again, with these conditions, you got to be. It's probably still slippery out there, so you got to be a bit lenient on that.
Richardson taps.
He got saucepan.
Do you want
twice? He was Did he hit? I think Josh Tonner has come in with a head hit, and then Quirk tackled Shepherd to the ground, but he's earned a free kick. So Shepherd, who's been fantastic in this second term, could he win the MVP award? Goes long aside forward, 50, the ball clears the pack. But luck's a fortune there for the Magpies. They managed to work it over through for a behind.
Can we buy a goal?
Wouldn't that be a story? Falling, having a heart concern in the lead up to the grand final. Comes back and then wins the MVP award. Oh, there's something in that, I think. Might get the front page of the Z. Definitely a heartwarming story. A bit like Nick Derbyshire, who won the reserve grade best on ground today after recovering from a heart injury earlier in the season. Heart-to-heart sort of stuff, Jared.
That's TV now. Series you can make out of that.
Travis Tuck's got it at the half-forward line. He's 55 from home, but he can get it if he wants to go that way. Tuck loads up with a barrel off the side of the boot. He would have got it with a drop punt. Bouncing football, Quirk runs onto it. Goes short now to Tonner. Corralled nicely by Jellyman Turner, so he goes for an inboard pass where he finds Davies. Davies has got players breaking, including Collins. Well, there's all the Magpies fighting over it on the outer side. Get out of the nest as Myatt takes the mark. Inside hand pass to Stagg, and the backtrack to get it. Under pressure, gets his kick away towards Sorosinski. Overrunning it was the Russian tank Morozov. Allows Sorosinski to run away. Kick into the pocket. Cox has to fly. Brings the ball to ground. The numbers here of the Berwick defence as West will clear it once again. Kick out onto the outer side where Brennan takes the mark. He's been called to play on. Brennan's kick was under some pressure, goes out of bounds on the full.
Don't know, KP, you hit the nail right in the head of the second ago. 6 Berwick players in the back line there ready to mop that ball up then. They had a complete blanket over it then.
We had Ash Smithy on his own in the middle, but went for Rutherford right on the boundary line and turned the ball over.
Long kick. Long. Billy Buttons bun. Causing me some...
Billy Buttons bun.
Yes.
Causing you to fade out.
Weatherman. But back at the play here on the half-forward flank for the Magpies. They haven't attacked as much as they did in that first term. They've only had the one scoring shot, which was a goal. They get the hurry kick inside forward, 50. Shepherd beats Sorosinski. That has to be in the back umpire. Once again, no free kick paid. So going through, Hillard gets the hand pass to Smith, who then uses Risley. He was under some pressure from the Narre Warren forward, so he gets a kick up there towards centre wing.
The quarter's gone for 33 minutes.
Yes,
it's long, isn't it?
Feels like it.
Thomas almost reached to the clouds then. He was flying pretty high there.
I think there'll be a few tired players at half time.
Jump in the showers.
Oh, long quarter. There you
go. Timekeepers are listening to us.
We woke them up.
Well, someone woke him up in Trude in the last game of the season, that's for sure. That quarter went for 25 minutes. But it's half time here in the 2018 SEFNL Grand Final. And it's Berwick 5-10-40. Leading Narre Warren 1-5-11. Berwick looking for their third premiership in 4 years in the last dance of the final SEFNL Grand Final as the league will be disbanded in season 2019. Performance, and we're underway for the second half here in the 2018 Grand Final. Looked like it was going Narre Warren's way, but it's Rutherford the quick kick forward now. Well, Connolly brought McNamara to the ground, no free kick paid. Collins flicks the hand pass out to Davies, so he just goes long, trying to get some distance, but reading it best there and taking a nice mark on his chest is Ash Smith. So inside defensive 50, the former AFL star at West Coast Eagles and premiership player now at Berwick. Kicks it up there looking for Morozov, who used his body in against Collins but has impeded and given away the free kick. So the veteran, the wily campaigner from Narre Warren, Michael Collins, goes long and high. Vacant half forward line, Shinners floats to the front position. Will the mark be paid there to Rutherford? Shinners had hands on it, but Rutherford has come up with the football and the umpire decided he made a wrong decision. He'll now throw it up.
Yeah, it looked like that straight away, so I'm surprised unless he left it up to the other umpire. I thought he was going to call that mark coming in, but the umpire's taking control.
So throw up, no clear ruck contest there, so Quirk did well, put the hand pass to Skulls over, but his little hand pass to Miller was intercepted, and Rutherford just couldn't get the space, sorry, that was Shepherd couldn't get the space required to get a disposal away. So we're going to see the ball thrown up at centre half forward once again. That time it was Richardson tapping it forward. Tough football, socket free there by Narre Warren, but Doing well was Hillard. Hand pass over the top towards Andrews, who rides the bump of Quirk. They're appealing for holding the football, which definitely wasn't there. And the ball's going to be thrown up once again.
It was a bit tough in the clinches at the start of this third quarter, isn't it?
Well, you're sure that Narre would have received a rocket as Shinners goes with a big swipe. Staggs now tagging Smith. Staggs done well, working hard, but his hand pass couldn't find his teammate, and he's been penalised for a throw. Good tackle pressure there by Nick Hillard, and he's been rewarded inside defensive 50.
Yeah, Berwick managed to get their hands every time to that. Looked like Narre tried to get the ball out and they just got their hands to it.
Richardson's coming off with what appears to be a stinger injury. That's a big loss for Narre Warren. That's a long kick there by Hillard. It's gone over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full.
This boundary umpire again made a quick call then. He's not being questioned this time.
King will take the free kick and he goes long, but it goes off the side of the boot. Shinners has 2 to beat. Good work there by Tuck to bring the ball to ground. Jack Tonner hits the pack. Hand pass misses his teammate. It's still tough. Hillard shovels the hand pass out to Andrews. He goes for the hand pass, which is cut up by Zeetzman. He couldn't get a disposal away. Matty Andrews has picked up a free kick for being tackled without the football. So he goes back by hand now to Heddles. Long kick forward, but it was really just a hack kick forward, and taking the mark there was Davies. So Davies goes short trying to find Cody. Spilling the mark though was Magna. Cody got it over the top to Quirk. Quirk goes long. Cox is there. All the pack cleans him up. He couldn't take the mark, and it goes through for a behind. Now I saw Richardson. He's walking the boundary line just in front.
Yeah,
of
he looked like he was carrying his arm, but he said it was a stinger, so I'm not sure what it was, but he came off with a grimace.
Yeah, shoulder.
1-6-12 go the Magpies, trailing by 28 points as Smith kicks it in to the scoreboard side of the ground, but cutting it off was Collins, who's imposing himself in this third term. Collins finds Quirk. He will take his best kick from 40 metres out directly in front. This will be a great start to this second half for Narre. As we said, they're trailing by 28 points. This can make it 22. They have. They did this in the first term and they couldn't get the goals through. They kicked 5 behinds. Can Quirk bring the Narre Warren supporters alive from 50? Won't make the distance, and it's gone out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, they don't need that, do they? They've got to bring it to the top of the square if you can't make the distance, but they can't waste the ball like that now.
It's also knowing your own limitations as a footballer. As Smith goes long, it's a 60-metre drop punt. Davies takes the front position, couldn't mark. The ball comes out there towards Collins, who was tackled by Morozov. At ground level, Andrews is in there working hard. Quirk applies a strong tackle as that on Shepherd. The ball's now bottled up and the umpire will go and throw it up just outside the paint of 50 in front of the electronic scoreboard here at Enwyn Flat, which reads Berwick 5-10-40, leading Narre Warren 1-6-12. As we've got a few people just doing the shuffle in front of the broadcast position here. Kick inside forward 50, getting brought to ground. There was Scanlon, who couldn't mark. There's going to be a shot on goal by Cody from the pocket. Oh, that was nearly the impossible, but it's hit the post. Another behind. They go to 1-7-13. Smith is the designated kicker-innerer, and he's looking to bring it out broadcast side because Risley's leading that way. But the kick actually favours Shinners. It's going to fall short. Scalzo and Rutherford collide, but Rutherford's put in a good performance so far today, boys, and that was a nice mark on his chest.
Used his body well, didn't he? Protect the top of the ball.
So Rutherford, oh look at that, just perfectly waited there for Risley to run onto it and take the mark in front of Miller. So Risley sees Gunn and rewards him for his lead as the talented forward slides in on his knee to take the mark on his chest. Probably too far out to score now, you would think.
He's a chance.
He can get onto a barrel at time. So Gunn pops it up, looking for Connolly. McNamara was courageous, got a punch there. Quirk working hard there against Money, and also Magna managed to get the ball over the boundary line.
It's just the sign of no talk out there, because McNamara could have easily marked that, but just went for the first defender's instinct punch.
Miller comes off there for Jackson, who's going to hit this pack. Young taps it down. Magna works it out, trying to find a teammate. It was Shepherd. Under pressure, Shepherd got the hand pass there to Asher. Tackled by Skulls, got his kick away. Morozov and Davies. Morozov did well, tapped it to himself. Got the hand pass there to Connolly, who's gone with the banana. And with the left, and didn't come back far enough and went through for a behind. So they go to 1-8-4. Sorry, that's not them. They go to 5-11-41 out to a 28-point lead against the Magpies.
And James Magna in and under work there in the stoppage was insurmountable. He just took the ball.
Clean, wasn't he, Doc?
And he looked up to see if anyone was going to grab him across the head. They left him alone, so I think I'll get an easy handball out here.
So Sorosinski's going to have to bring the ball in. He's looking to go long up the guts. Shinners is the option. Risley takes the front position. No mark. Punch down to Rutherford. Off one step. Rutherford gets it inside forward 50. Coming up the meter there was Quirk. Tackles Shepherd about the football. Lucky to give away a free kick as Morozov's wrapped up there by Ben King, who's gone back into defence where he's probably better suited. And the ball's going to be thrown up 40 metres out directly in front from Berwick's attacking end. We've only seen the 3 goals scored at this high school end as Tuck gets the clearance, kick out of the pack. There has been a free kick for a throw.
Called Magna for a throw to Tuck, not a handball.
Yep, so McNamara will take the free kick inside defensive 50 for Narre. He goes into the pocket where he finds Myatt. Now Myatt. Stagnant options further afield, and he's been called to play on, so he just goes high and long, hoping to find Shinners. Got 3 to beat as he has all afternoon. The ball spills the Tuck, gets his way through traffic too easily. Short pass finds Jellyman Turner, just goes the required distance.
Just trying to open the game up here, Wickers.
So Jellyman Turner goes long along the line. Scalzo and Rutherford go for it. The ball goes over the back of the pack to Young. The big man did well. Rode the bump, got the kick forward. Money and Quirk. Quirk and Money going at it. Money can't get any space. Wrapped up in a tackle there by Quirk. That was good work by the back pocket there to bring him to ground.
Yeah, played him close, didn't he?
He did.
Is that the only thing Luke Shepherd's done all day? Has got in the way of Young then when he was trying to kick the ball?
I thought Shepherd had a pretty good second term as Magna tries to take the pack with him but couldn't get a hand free to get the hand pass away. And we're going to see the ball thrown up once again. A couple of the netballers there celebrating their wins, Narre Warren included. Back with the play, Tuck. Tries to break away from the tackle from Collins. Brought him to ground. He was awarded for holding the football. Advantage paid to McNamara, who runs. Kicks it up to centre half forward. Scanlon was beaten too easily there by Heddles. And he's taken the mark on the half-back flank. Heddles brings it out to centre wing. Stands and waits. Scalzo allows Young into the contest to take the mark. So Young went to Asher. They've gone now to Rutherford. Long kick aside forward. 50 Money. Crashes the pack. Couldn't complete the mark. His second effort was good. Tried to find Shepherd by hand. Cutting it off was Travis Tuck. Shovels the hand pass out there towards Asher, but he was wrapped up as soon as he got possession of it there by Jackson. And we're going to see the ball thrown up nearly directly in front from Berwick's attacking end. It has come very gloomy and overcast as Wilson jumps into the contest and has taken Tuck high.
Just jumped on him, really, more than anything else.
It was a difficult position to find himself in, really. But Travis Tuck now will line up. Sorry, Doc, will line up for a shot on goal.
You're right, Keith.
For 40 metres out directly in front. What were you going to say, Doc?
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying Rutherford and Heddles have been absolutely inspirational across the half-back line, both of them today. Heddles
is a September specialist, isn't he? Unfortunately for him, spends a lot of time injured, but plays his best football during the finals. There's Tuck, who's kicked one from the impossible angle. Can he make it two? No, the easier attempt goes through for a behind. Seemed to kick his toe or something, stuttered a little bit.
But even the ball, when it got near the goals, it sort of seemed to hold there, and so it must be difficult kicking down in this end.
Well, I think the breeze has definitely picked up. At 29 points the margin as McNamara finds King in the pocket. King goes long towards Shinners, who seems to be the marking option. He's fine against 3 every time. The ball comes down to Rutherford, tries to duck under the tackle of Miller, couldn't do so, had the hand pass at the Tuck. That's a spearing pass there by Tuck through the Narre Warren defence, but cutting it off was King to Jackson, to McNamara, the 1-2, no, McNamara looks to do it himself. His kick was partially smothered there by Shepherd. It spills to Cody. He's wrapped up by Magna, but got his kick away. Falls short of his teammate. Cutting it off there was Morozov. His inside hand pass was well read there by Stagg, but couldn't collect it. Magna gets the hand pass to Brennan. Couldn't break the tackle of McNamara, and he's been penalised for holding the football. Advantage played to Stagg, who finds Scalzo, who's been quiet this afternoon. Scalzo now goes out to centre wing with Shinners. Has a front position there against Risley, but didn't secure the ball enough of his body, and Risley comes through and forces the punch away over the boundary line.
Yeah, just got his hand there again, Risley. Just
managed to turn his hip a bit more, Shinners, I thought.
Big enough, had the leap, so he would have done that well.
As Andrews comes in. Billy Bunn is quite concerned about the weather at the back of the van as Jackson gets pushed off it. Tap there towards Wilson now. Hand pass in the space for Miller. Taps it to himself. Gets around Smith. Can run now Miller. From 50 metres out. Can Miller kick the goal? Fake and goal square. Bounces through. Well, that's a much-needed goal there for the Magpies. Great finishing work by Miller. The long-range goal brings up their second. They go to 2-7-19. Trailing the Magpies 5-12-42. We have gone some bit of time in the third quarter here on KC Radio 97.7 FM. Time check, 11 and a half minutes gone.
Yeah, it's interesting, wasn't it? Sort of goal out of nothing for Narre. Then Berwick were doing all the attacking, and they got a clearance from that throw in front of us, and took it away, switched it across to the middle of the ground, and away they went, and it's a great finish.
Against the tide, definitely Hills, and can this be the spark that they need to get the next one?
So Wilson in the ruck now, big punch forward, but off the pack there, Jellyman Turner. Beautiful hand pass there to Heddles. Heddles goes long to centre half forward, flying in. McNamara drops the mark. Seatsman's working hard, slaps it forward. Look at the numbers here for Berwick. Shepherd gets on a loose football. Look at a bit of a gangly sort of kick forward there, but got some meterage. Morozov used his body well. Can Gunn keep it in? He can't. Quite content to see it over the boundary line with some accompany there by Ben King.
Yeah, just happy to get a stoppage there and reset. But Berwick, they just get their numbers to the ball, don't they?
Well, we're yet to see back-to-back goals from Berwick, from Narre Warren. Can they get one now?
As the grouse disperses because the rain's coming down again.
Once again, look, Bunn's all over it, isn't he? He looks to the back and says the rains are here.
Billy
and
Bunn.
It comes. Maybe we should send Billy Bunn out to the drought-affected areas of New South Wales and Queensland to get his rain dance happening out there. The ball's going to be thrown up. What's going on the back there? King's getting in the way of Magna. Geez, they're two hard heads going at it, those two, King and Magna. Throw up. Morozov doing the ruck work by himself. Cody tries to go through. Ripped off it there by great tackle by Rutherford. Dancing through traffic with Shepherd. And then from only about 15 metres out, didn't have the power to get the ball through for a goal.
Yeah, just couldn't quite connect with that ball.
Maybe he's starting to feel the pressure of the MVP award.
Oh, he's dribbling the ball everywhere, but still pushing the ball forward every time.
Long kick in there by McNamara out towards Myatt. The ball held up in the breeze to allow Jellyman Turner through to punch that ball over the boundary line.
Well, it's looking dark out there now, isn't it?
Ominous.
The ball's going to be thrown in again.
It is. Doing the ruck work. Oh, that's a short throw in. So Davies just had to try and tap. Sorry, Wilson just had to try and tap it, but another clearance to the wickets. This time it's through Rutherford. Long penetrating kick aside forward 50. Players collided the back of the pack there. That was Connolly and also Quirk, but taking the mark was McNamara, and then he's gone out towards Jack Toner in his first grand final, who slips over and allows Smith to take the mark on his chest. Now, boys,
he's deciding he's having a shot here.
Will this go through? We saw one at this end in the first term from long range. This is from 55 out. Smith goes long. It might clear the pack. King was there. Showed some courage to fly into that pack and punch it through for a behind. Berwick have started this third term, the premiership term, with 4 behinds. They've moved it out to 5-14-44. Out to a 35-point lead as the boys and girls in blue on the horses have arrived. Last time they were called, the grand final was called off. The kick in though by McNamara falls short, and taking the mark was Magna.
They're going to get into McNamara again for that kick. Yeah, someone's they're just having a word to him now.
It might just explode down there, but Magna. Can he get the distance?
Will he keep it low like his other AFL, ex-AFL teammates in Smith and Tuck did? Kept it low into the breeze.
It's like long kicks is not his strong suit. He'd be kicking this from just inside the paint at 50. Magna out of bounds on the fall.
The anti-climax again, wasn't it?
Yep. But Magna's long distance kicking is probably one of his not strong suits. It's nearly copped it up here. Sorozinski went towards Cody, was under some pressure, and coming through and soccering a loose football there was Matty Andrews, but couldn't get the right connection on it as it goes through for a behind. 5-15-45, the Wickers leading Narre Warren 2-7-19. McNamara goes with a short option and finds Foot. Plays on. Foot goes long, looking for Shinners, won't get there. Rutherford can mark. Should have used his body, but there's Sorellis to provide the space. Magna to Asher, now to Jellyman Turner, looking to try and push off his opponent. Has to go back behind to Risley, but to be closed down by Wilson, gets his kick away. Finds Asher. Oh no, it wasn't, that's Brennan. Another Berwick player with a box head. He's too far out to score, so he'll just have to go long. It's a bit up and under, up they fly. Big punch there by Davies, but the front and square was Matty Andrews. His kick ricochets off McNamara out there towards Foot, and Foot's kicked it out towards the van, out of bounds on the full, and we'll see Jellyman Turner with the free kick or Brennan.
Do you think there's a few Narre backmen are going, just don't get the ball near me?
They're under pressure, aren't they?
Well, you never usually see Risley kick a bad kick either, do you?
So Jellyman Turner with the awarded free kick. Hot spot, 30 metres out, up they fly, no mark was taken. Jackson goes through, ripped to ground. Morozov's working hard there for Berwick. Cody shovels the hand pass out to Scalzo, who then gets pushed over the pack. Magna goes in, and also Bailey Asher. Brennan at the bottom of the pack.
Yeah, well done by Brennan. No, he just had that clear and he got his hand in just to stop that handball and force the ball up.
So Berwick just really closing the space here on Narre Warren as Gunn tries to get the ball out of through traffic. It bounced up towards Davies. His kick makes it hard for Myatt, but good pressure off the ball there by Sorosinski, gave him some space. Myatt's kick was too hard for Connor. He couldn't mark. Good work there by Tuck to go to Andrews, who then uses Heddles. The kick around the body. Zeitsman drops the mark. Morozov keeps his feet. King goes through but leaves the ball behind. Zeitsman does well. Gets the hand pass to Shinners. Shinners heard footsteps, so he just kicks it. Kick forward really. And then just gets wrapped up in a strong tackle there by Hillard. It might be an excuse to really try and ruffle some feathers there, Narre Warren. Go fly the flag for that high tackle, but they decide not to. So Wilson will take the free kick.
Right across the ground. Dangerous switch.
It is a dangerous switch. Over the head of Ryan Quirk. He's got two to beat now. Quirk, will he keep his feet? No. Gets bumped out of it too easily there by Gunn, who just runs away. Goes towards a player on the outer side who drops the mark, but then gets his kick away. I think that may have been Brennan on the outer side. His kick falls short. King cuts it off. Nice intercept mark by King. Goes up towards centre wing with Scalzo was there. Good mark. Rutherford did well. Tapped the ball forward to the advantage of his teammate, but he was wrapped up strongly there, Brennan, by Myatt. And we're going to see the ball thrown. I think it may have been Thomas on the outer side there for Berwick earlier in that contest. There's Young. Big punch forward now. Quirk at the back of the pack. Gets the hand pass over the top now towards Sorosinski. In 2 minds, in 3 minds. Doesn't know what to do. So he kicks it around the body and just turns it over. It was good corralling work there by the basher. He calls a turnover to Rutherford. Goes into the pocket where Money will take the mark on his chest. Finally finds himself with some space there against his opponent. They've moved Quirk off Money to move King into the fence. And first chance for Money to take the mark on the lead has done so. Now Harry Money is very good from the pocket, boys, and I could say he will nearly go back and kick this goal.
If he aims for that left-hand goalpost, the wind will almost push it through in for him.
Don't worry, he knows the cameras are on him. Harry Money bags, staggered approach, but it looks good. Just goes across the face and through for a behind. 5-16-46 the Wickers leading the Magpies 2-7-19.
Yeah, I think he just needed that gust once he got up in front of the goals just to take it across, but didn't catch the ball.
Sophie Young has messaged through to our Facebook page. Missed the telephone number but wants Berwick to win and Nick Hillard to be best on ground for the Wickers. Yes, Doc?
I was going to say he had a natural left hook on that then, which didn't really suit that pocket, Harry Money.
McNamara goes long, Scanlon gets in the back of his opponent, no free kick paid as Jellyman Turner was front and square for the Crumbs. Long kick forward, ball gets punched away from Money, then gets taken out of it there by McNamara. So running onto the loose football was Tim Gunn. Is that Gunn barrel straight? No. Another behind. So, 5 scoring shots for 5 behinds in this term for Berwick.
5 goals, 17.
Yeah, can we say Narre, they've just left the door ajar for Narre at the moment. It's looking ominous.
They've got to score at least 3 goals, and they've only scored 2 so far, and they can't get outside defensive 50. Sorosinski goes short to Cox, who we know is still a little bit lame with that ankle injury. He hasn't had the impact he did in the prelim final. So Cox goes long, going back with the one hand there was Foot. No mark taken, comes off the pack and out of bounds.
Very players calling for deliberate there.
Claire Irwin's also sent through a message to KC Radio Sport. Narre to win and Hayden Stagg to get best on. So the messages are coming through on KC Radio Sport. You can text us 0424 038977 as the Magpies have worked the ball up towards Cox there on centre wing. has to stop and prop. Hand pass towards Cody. Still some run here in the Magpies. Cody goes long, but there's nobody in the side forward 50 apart from Jackson. So West takes the mark. Comes out towards Brennan, who's in space. Takes a bounce on the greasy surface. Lucky for it to come back, but Brennan's pass is good for Morozov. Protects the football but couldn't mark it. Davies goes through. Applies a tackle on Brennan. Arthurson did well to get the ball to the Russian tank Morozov. Kick forward now. Here's Bailey Asher. Goes one way, then the other. Stops, props, goes into the pocket. Favours his teammate there in Thomas, but a lunging attempt to punch the ball away by Zorozinski, the whippet. Manages to cause a spoil and get the ball over the boundary line.
No, they just worked that down quite easy, didn't they, Berwick? They just got it down methodically. Nothing pretty about it, just good football, uncontested football.
Berwick's last 13 scoring shots have been behinds. Can you believe it? Josh Connors in there, gets worked out of it. The ball goes to Travis Tuck, was it? It was, yep. And he was within goal scoring distance. Blazed away really in the end and has gone through for another behind. 15 behinds in a row.
Just a good sign out there. Jake Richardson's been out there a little bit again as well, though, too. It doesn't seem to be feeling any ill effects from that shoulder knock earlier.
Now, just have a look at Narre Warren's players here. They've dropped their heads. They're walking back to position. They're not running. I think they might feel this game's out of reach. Long kick in. Rutherford in best position to mark. Worried out of it by Richardson. Good work there by Collins. The tap towards foot as the Wickers players just come from everywhere.
Converge.
And Collins just whacked his hands down and thought we were almost out then.
Yeah, he tried to tap it out into the path of foot, but couldn't quite get there.
5-18-48 to 2-7-19. Someone's asked for more scores. And someone's texting saying, I love your work, Doc, from Aussie. As Collins gets the hand pass there to Stagg. Stagg's long kick forward, picked off there once again by the Berwick defence in Joe West. Plays on, goes towards centre wing where Jellyman Turner takes the mark. He goes longer, further afield there to looking for Shepherd, but disappointing kick off the boot, goes out of bounds. Just so our feedback texter who didn't give a name, it is hard to give a score check when your team keeps kicking behinds. Sorozinski goes towards foot, ball gets punched away. Sorozinski was good, got the hand pass over the top there towards King. King made it hard though for foot. It's been cut off by Jellyman Turner. Goes into the pocket where Money will take the mark. He got some space there from Sorozinski to take the mark on his chest. Looks like Ryan Quirk may have gone back to Harry Money. He'll be wheeled back over his mark here, will he?
This probably will suit his kicking style better.
He saw Rutherford going into the goal square too. He was clear as stab, but couldn't get it around on him.
5-18-48 as Money tries to play on. His kick across the body gets touched.
Give him a wrapped up.
I wasn't watching that one. The pillar was in the way.
We love it. He's enjoying the commentary, whoever that is. Might be Cole. We appreciate your feedback. We're glad to have you involved on KC Radio as McNamara brings it into Myatt. Where's he going to go, Myatt? He's had the ball in his hand a few times this quarter. He goes long. Wilson, he just like a prancing little. He got a tiny little touch on his back, trying to play for the free kick. West took the mark. So West, mongrel kick. It's worked out for him though because it's bounced in the lap of Money. Money squaring past towards Thomas. The ball gets punched away. The Narre have the numbers now. Quirk goes back towards Sorozinski. Sorozinski's kicking around the body. Davies is in best position to mark. Does well. That should 50? Be 50 metres.
Late.
Crashing into him. I'm trying to work it out. Who was those texts coming from, Jared?
That was Mickey Harold's old man.
Oh,
Mr. Harold.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him for a while. That's a nice message there as Davies takes the 50-metre penalty, kicks it long towards Wilson. Did he have enough on it for the mark to be paid? Yes. The what do you call them? Ground umpires wouldn't have listened to the boundary umpire anyway. So Wilson has taken the free kick from outside 50, goes to the hot spot. They need a flyer. Shinners continues to do so, but he's up against three, and that was a nice mark there by Travis Tuck. Just goes to show you've got to keep your eyes on the football, and he did well to take that mark. So Tuck goes long. Money flies. Was that Money? It was, but it's been turned over. Getting a kick forward there with Dylan Quirk. Looking for Shinners once again. It's their only real option. Where's Scanlon? Where's Cox? Where's someone operating out of the goal square? As the Wickers clean up once again. This time it was Rutherford going towards Arthurson, who slid in, nearly dropped it, but did well to take the mark.
Thought about Shepherd just short, but now it's going long to Morozov.
He won't get there. Miller's in the front position. Didn't want to put his body in Miller. Spilt the mark. Got a bump from Morozov. for that effort to the ball spills of Richardson, who just blazes away. Good work there by Stagg to put some forward line pressure on the Berwick defence. Finally manages to cause a throw up, as looks like that's Heddle's at the bottom of the pack there for the Wickers.
Yeah, you're right. No, we just don't have any structure going forward. Just again, if Shinners is outnumbered, they still kick to him. There's got to be players free.
Now, Mickey Harold's actually the runner today for Berwick, replacing, we saw Matty Andrews do some running work during the finals. And look at this for some play by the Wickers. Risley just gliding through, got the hand pass there towards Brennan, but he was hot. So turnover through Tonner. Now Myatt from outside forward, 50. Myatt blazes away, and Ash Smith has taken the mark on his chest. But was it game to stop down there?
Yeah, it looks like
no
it,
one from Narre Warren even trying to close the space. So they went short there to Reece Piper. Piper goes long up towards centre wing, and King's taking the mark, and he just throws it away. Arthurson intercepts, gets a hand pass over to Thomas. This could really make them pay here, the Wickers. They got plenty of space to work in. Thomas goes short to Connolly.
And he's got the whole forward line.
And he's going to take it on his chest here. No, bouncing football. Hunt Money. Oh, he didn't even.
Another party trick.
Trying to tap it in the head there of Ryan Quirk. Try and knock out your opponent with a falcon.
And bounce the ball off his head and get it.
Bit of globetrotter sort of stuff there in the pocket by Money, the leading goal kicker in the SEFNL. I'm not surprised those four horsemen have gone right near the Narre Warren camp. They're probably looking for George Angelopoulos, but he's not playing out here today. And there's been a free kick. Getting brought to ground was Matty Andrews. At the back of the pack, he was held without it.
At 3 volts.
Trent Cody is the impeding opponent. Now, will this be a captain's goal? They haven't kicked one since the 20-minute mark of that second term. In between that and now, we have seen 15 behinds. They're 5-18.
There's Ash Smith again.
Oh, Matty Andrews got the hand pass to Smith, but Cody smothered it. Ricochets back to Andrews, who goes into the pocket looking for Thomas, who goes with one hand at full stretch, but couldn't mark. And it goes out of bounds, 30 metres out from Berwick's attacking end, but they lead by 29 points. It's 5-18-48 to 2-7-19.
There's a comedy of errors there, wasn't it?
Yeah, hasn't been the best brand of football we've seen this year of SEFNL footy.
And it looks like Jake Richardson's just got it free, I think, too.
Yeah, in the ruck. It's the conditions and the pressure is really not bringing out the best in both teams. As
ball just rushed over the line out of bounds.
An update in the VFL sees Essendon leading Casey by 1 point at three-quarter time in the VFL final. So the ball's going to be thrown in just forward of centre wing. It's 5-19 now, 49. Berwick leading leading the Magpies 2-7-19. Andrews goes in, applies a strong tackle there on centre wing, and we're going to see another throw up.
As you can see, the Cranbourne Reserves Premiership players all walking in front of us.
Just leaving the rooms. Just leaving their rooms, I think, just after their initial celebrations.
There's an interesting drinking implement down there.
Because they've all got their bags over their shoulders, so they've only just finished.
Don't know what that is.
I think it'll be dangerous.
Yeah, it's a Cranbourne special.
Oh, the cup's there. I can see it in one of the strokes.
Now we're going to see a little bit of a how do you do in the middle here as Andrews gets bowled over. But
King's just let one fly.
He has.
And got one in the back of the head.
Oh, he's just given...
They haven't chased him, though.
Who was it? He hit Rutherford nicely.
So the sideways kick there by Andrews to Risley. Bouncing football to Brennan. You can just sense in the crowd that nobody really cares what's going to happen from here on in. They know what the result will be, and it's going to turn ugly this game, I think. On the half-forward flank, Alverson got the hand pass to a flat-footed Brennan. He just pops it up, hoping to find somebody, but taking the brave position, taking a nice mark there was Josh Tonner, who hasn't had the same sort of impact today we have seen in the past. And at three-quarter time, the siren has gone. 30 points the margin in favour of Berwick. That was Beaky Narre when the scoreboard was wrong, and Biscaya said, "You've choked," and we had the scoreboard right on 97.7, and Beaky actually won by a point.
Preliminary final?
Well, semi-final, I think it was. Yeah, it was huge at Home Park Reserve. I don't know if that was SEFNL though, was it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're back with the final quarter of the final grand final for SEFNL. There'll be no more SEFNL in half an hour. SEFNL's gone. And as Doc was just trying to get into the pocket of Aaron Bailey to try and secure a spot for next year, But we're underway here in the final term, with the Magpies trailing by 30 points. No real clear winner for the first minute and a half, and the ball's going to be thrown up at centre half forward for Berwick.
So just man-on-man football now, and see what Narre can do, if they can do something in this first 5 minutes.
Getting messages and all sorts of things coming through at the moment, but up it goes, comes back down. Skulls, Skulls just got one from Rutherford, which is good to see.
It's going to be a willing quarter.
That's all love. That's all love in
they love each other at Empire.
Yeah, well, don't get me
started. There goes Rutherford on the Skulls.
Yeah, they're going to go at it now. We saw King get a little bit feisty in that third term. Maybe if they don't win the match, they might win the fight.
Sorry, KP, just to interrupt you while...
Oh, you've been doing it all day.
Tuck breaks clear the pack.
Tuck has a shot on goal from 40 metres out, wrong side of the post. That girl got in the eyes and very distracting. But what were you saying, Doc?
I was watching you, that's why I stopped talking. B grade, Narre Warren 47 to Beaconsfield 35 in the netball, and A grade, Turidan 52 to Cranbourne 21.
Thank you for that, Doc. And
two of them back-to-back A-grade netball.
It's fantastic for a team that went without a win during the 2016 season. It's been a remarkable turnaround as the Magpies try and get the ball going forward. Cutting it off there with Shepherd. You get a push in the back. The umpire was blindsided. Quirk dives on top. That's holding the football. Jeez, it's tough, isn't it?
It is tough.
But that's footy. And Shepherd's had a indifferent day. Good second term. Didn't get into it as much in that third term.
Not backing himself on the kick here.
No. So, Quirk had one from a similar distance in that second term and couldn't make the distance. He pushed for the extra yard and it went right, out of bounds on the full. So Quirk now, from just inside 50, will take his best effort. Won't make the distance, they fly, and the punch, double-fisted punch there from Risley gets it through for a behind. They're going to 2-8-20. Trailing the Wickers, who are on 5-20-50. So kick in. Yeah, long kick. Shinnis has 3 to beat. There's Shepherd. Look at that for a second effort. Then runs away. A loping kick forward now. It's going to be a foot race. Who wants it more, Richardson or Gunn? Gunn beats Richardson to the ball, slips over. Richardson's second effort was good. Put the hand pass out towards King. Oh, he let it look, then dropped the ball behind. Look at that to Richardson. The big man was slow, but gets his kick out of defensive 50 just to turn it over as the ball goes out of bounds on the full. 30 points the margin, 3 minutes gone to this final term on 97.7 FM or on Game Face app. If you're in the car or in the at the ground here, toot your horns, flash your lights, let us know you're listening to us. As a kick now.
Yep, few across the other side.
Long kick inside forward 50, no mark was taken. So Narre Warren's defences are under immense pressure here, just swarmed by the Wickers. But the ball comes out towards Collins. He just goes high up and under, doesn't give Sorozinski much chance. Good work there by Brendan, close the gap. Jack Toner goes through, held about the football, no free kick paid. Brendan gets bumped out of it nicely there by Collins. As Toner gets the kick up towards centre wing, Cox takes the mark. Inside pass towards Cody, misses its target. Miller was there, breaks a tackle of Piper. Miller goes long, inside forward 50. Risley was first to it, but Scanlon kept his feet. He's trying to sock it off the ground.
Risky.
And he got bumped out of it there by West to allow Risley to mop up. He goes wide where he finds Hillard. Over the top now towards Jellyman Turner. Still with plenty of run in this final term. Jellyman Turner goes to centre wing where Tuck takes the mark. He wheels around, goes to Andrews. Bouncing football, flat-footed Andrews over the top now towards Young, who finds Heddles. There's been a text that's caused some concern inside the box. Long kick forward. Thomas goes with one hand. Worried out of it by Sorozinski. Just hacks it out of mid-air. Cutting it off there with Rutherford. Rutherford goes short where Brennan takes the mark.
It's no concern, just kind words, but waiting for you to have a break in play so you can read it. Personal training, reckons guys are guns.
How are you?
Apparently we know our SH1T.
Should give us a smile.
Yeah, I think that most of them have been giving us a smile today, I think.
Sorry, Jared. Totally stuffed this up. She's actually made me blush.
That's the second time.
Yeah, don't blush, babies.
That takes a lot of effort, that too.
I think Kane will be going into the pavilion after the game.
There's a couple of people to catch up with. Ash's kick up to the half forward flank. Look, Menage a trois. Collins now gets a kick away on centre wing.
Last 30 minutes, let's do it.
Who can we offend in this last 10 minutes of play? But Wilson Hopefully that girl doesn't watch the clip. There's a long kick forward now. Taking the front position there was Cox. The ball spills to Smith. Smith's round the body kick goes towards West, who couldn't mark. Jackson flies in, bumps Basher, then gets his kick away. Cox is hurt, and down behind players, Risley takes a mark in the pocket.
Yeah, that ankle again for Cox too, isn't it? And Basher was slow to get up, but he finally got up.
Risley goes towards Piper, who just couldn't pick up that wet football. Strong tackle by Skulls, though, and Arthurson. The ball's going to be thrown up. Yes,
okay, that was Be Firm. Personal training, reckon you guys are guns. You know your SH1T.
Who's that from?
Be Firm. So it's a company.
Personal training,
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Pump up for them.
Pump up.
Thanks,
Always
guys.
looking for sponsors. Be Firm. We'll get down there on a Saturday morning. Is Rutherford. A long kick forward up towards centre half forward, but Richardson takes the mark in front of Gunn.
I had a line, but I didn't want to use it.
Go for it. Why not?
I just thought that's what you were getting at one stage, wasn't it?
That sort of stuff gets you kicked off air.
Well, we're going, aren't we? You want to offend people?
Yeah, Richardson gets that hand past the
Following your lead, champ.
Goes to Miller. I offend everybody, not just one person. As Cody gets one high, no free kick was paid. Arthurson, double-handed tap towards Asher. Don't forget you need to find someone who's going to win this $500 check. Will it be Asher?
Paid the mark.
Will it be Shepherd?
That paid.
The Julius free kick was a mark was paid
on.
to money. Inside forward 50 is lacks any sort of penetration, a little bit like you, Jared.
They're going in thick and fast.
Tonner goes out the centre wing where Myde continues to run. Sweeps a hand past to Toner.
You got my pills, that's why.
Toner goes along. Scanlon has a front position. Heddles can't mark. Heddles is slow back to it now. Gets pushed out of it. Scanlon's tapped it back towards Jackson, who overruns it. Blind turns. Strong tackle by Hillard. The ball spills out to Travis Tuck, who finds Shepherd. Little short pass by Shepherd now to a running Jellyman Turner. He takes a bounce through Edmund Flack. Jellyman Turner's kick made it hard now for Connolly, who tries to push Sorosinski. It didn't work. The Whippets ground ball. Tonner gets pushed out of it there by Smith. Rutherford to Smith, sweeping hand pass out of Jellyman Turner from 55 out. Jellyman Turner goes short and finds Tim Gunn.
This will be 3, won't it, from Gunny?
Well, if you're a Berwick supporter now, it's a time to celebrate. There's people really enjoying the last grand final. Oh, the umpires come off the ground with a coffee.
Oh no!
Done. The Kermit, he's out, and he said no, I don't need the stretcher. He's all right. He's got.
Trainers rushed to him from everywhere.
He's got to guts his way out of it.
Walk past him.
So Gunn, he doesn't know if it's a knee or it's a heart, that umpire. So Gunn now, 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. In he comes. Just slipped and has kicked it across the face.
They just don't want to kick a goal in this half, do
That's
they?
their first score for but 8 minutes to play. It's a 5:21.51 to 2:8:20. I think SUA stands for Soft Umpires Association. As McNamara now kicks it long out towards Toner. Shinners goes in, gets the punch away, but Connolly was there doing the roving. Breaks the tackle, kick forward, punch away by Zeetzman, running as far as Travis Tuck, who has a shot on goal, but sprays it left and through for a behind.
He's got the flask. Looks like he's got the hip flask now.
We've got the umpires.
We've got Jimmy Cricket out there now as well too. Instead,
you haven't finished with face-off yet, have you?
Hey, I saw Doc reaching for his green uniform. He was going to run out.
No, I was too busy laughing.
Tony goes long towards Shinners, who couldn't mark. Risley just tapped in the path for Jellyman Turner, which is cut off there by Collins. He's hurried kick forward though.
They've just repelled so much better today, the Wickers.
Sir Ellis has the mark.
Getting plenty of advice.
Great
mark by Money.
That was a great mark there by Money.
Dragged it in.
Hovered above the pack. What are you looking at?
Now.
I lost sight.
The CC?
Can't quite see Money. There he is. He's got the football. Looking at the VFL scores, Casey have kicked away to a 7-point lead against the Bombers in that final term. So they'll go through to, the grand final next week. So Money, just inside 50, goes long. The ball's coming back, but it won't be enough. And through for a behind. Look at this. Can you believe it?
Can they kick a goal?
It is now. They're 19 straight behind. I'm getting in trouble. I can sense
Can
it.
I just say that 23 points by Berwick is more than what Narre Warren have kicked all day in goals and points.
Good work, Peabody. Love it.
What's that?
The happy endings at the personal training session.
At Be Firm. Morrisov.
And Comedy Gold.
What's the plot? I can't. This is just a joke.
It is.
Not the game as such, but just us. This is actually going to someone's DVD at home.
Oh, he's floated in front.
Jonathan Turner goes long inside forward 50, and the mark's been taken. Is that Connolly? It is. He'll line up for a shot on goal.
Can they kick a goal?
19 behinds in a row. It's 5:23 to 2-8, in case you've just tuned in. And now Connolly,
More scores, please.
Connolly is the distance won't test him.
We're supposed to know our
Accuracy's
stuff.
testing everybody.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it? So when he goes now, and he's pushed it left, but got it stuck at home.
Threaded it.
He got it
Is that
home
it?
nicely.
Is she singing?
She is.
Oh,
They needed that goal.
They are running in with double high fives.
23-59, leading Narre Warren 2-8-20 with 39 points to margin. Geez, long time between goals. The last goal, as we said, was at the last goal in the actual game was at the 20-minute mark of the second term.
Wow.
It's been all behind since.
Didn't know he kicked a goal in the
Oh, they
third quarter.
did. Yes, they did. Sorry, yeah, Miller. I forgot. That was.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
sounded better.
Didn't
Don't let
it?
the truth get in the way of a good story.
When have we ever done that?
There's gentleman Dave Nagel just walking in front of us.
Chest out.
Yeah.
He's looking for you, KP. Oh, wow.
Thomas just goes through the
chest
basher.
out.
Talk about living up to your nickname. He's got one high there.
And
the
there's
bash.
another
Two
two
of them
Berg
down.
players down.
Yeah, one of them is Magna.
Magnus, yeah.
Josh Tonner's also a bit injured there for Narre.
Maybe they had a clash.
Magnus thinking, I wish I had more hair to protect the head then.
But I missed what happened there. The ball's out of bounds.
Got kicked
Piper's
out
going to
before.
take the free kick. These people are enjoying the broadcast. On your Cole, we're a bunch of clowns. We know it. As long as we know it, it's okay. Yeah. The long kick in. Risley flies in. Third man couldn't mark. Magna shows a hand pass out to Matty
gives it to
Andrews.
King.
Hand passes it back to King, who's got a big X on his back. Shinner slides in over the top of Magna. He saw Magna. Batcher goes through. Hurried kick forward. Connolly in the front position where he should be as a forward, takes a mark on his chest. Spearing ball there to Gunn. Slides in. Thomas runs past with a hand pass. That's ignored. Where's Money? Nowhere to be seen. So Gunn is signalling to go long. It's going to be towards Hillard. Will Hillard get there? He needs to get in the front position. Hillard can't. And taking the mark there is Dave Nagel's love child, Michael Collins. And he kicks it out there towards the halfback flank. Quirk in the best position to keep that ball in the field of play, but got the skids on that ball, didn't it? It goes out of bounds.
He got the marks on it. That kick really favoured Collins and no one else, didn't it, from Gunn? It was just, he should have just waited for a bit longer.
39 points the margin, 13 minutes into this final term, Doc.
Tim Gunn's a sliding specialist. He's almost seen him do at least once every game down on the knees and sliding through and taking a mark.
Congratulations in the crowd.
Yeah, long kick in there towards Quirk, who gets that's Ryan Quirk, gets a punch away. And that looks like maybe from Thomas, and the ball goes out of bounds.
The crowd's just starting to disperse a little bit.
I don't think if you're a Berg person.
No.
Peabody,
not.
forgot the game. There's more important issues out here in the southeast. Oh gosh, I'm not going to open that, Peabody.
Well, hot dogs.
Golf, big brother.
Tap there by Rutherford towards Brennan. Kick to the hot spot. Alfredson was forward but couldn't get the football. Going through and breaking a tackle there was Foot. That was good play. He's worked hard. Put the hand pass there to Collins, but he went with the sideway hand pass to Foot, but he got bumped out of it by Thomas. Foot did well. Strong tackle on Piper. Should have been rewarded. It wasn't. Gunn tried to go for flick pass. It's worked out. But the hand pass to Connolly. Connolly's gone for the impossible, and it's gone across the face, but through for it behind.
Who would have thought 24 points and then finally hit 60 in total for the game?
Yeah, it's 6-24.
I don't remember seeing a scoreboard like this for a grand final for a very long time.
I can't remember ever.
They kicked 10 goals, really, haven't they?
They have. Yep. There you go, boys. Kick in. Wilson. Oh, Wilson.
Mark. 3 deep. Oh,
The mark hasn't been paid. What more do you
geez.
need to do to take a mark? Oh, umpire.
Joseph West seeing how much he can toe the line.
Nick Scanlon, have we seen his last game of senior football today? He got bumped there, and Joseph West tried to keep it along the boundary line. The ball's going to be thrown in.
Well, remember the last week's game too, he was moving a bit ginger as well, so could
He
be.
was, yeah, and he's 35, Nick Scanlon. He's had a great football career, one of the best. Magna just cops one high for his effort of working hard, but he stood up, got the hand pass to Rutherford. His hurried kick forward, and he's forwards on the back foot. So McNamara tapped it to Richardson, gets it back from Richardson now. McNamara tries to find Collins, but picking it off and taking a nice mark there was Smith. Now too far out to score, so Smith goes short and finds Travis Tuck, who's been good this afternoon without being great. He can get the distance, really get the accuracy. He's kicked one of the best goals of the season from the pocket earlier in that second term, but decides to lower his eyes and has found Moneybags, Harry Money.
Another shot from his pocket.
Has only kicked the one goal, which was in the first minute of this match. Maybe he could finish off the grand final with his second. From 40 metres out, this angle should shoot him, shouldn't it, Doc?
Certainly should. It's he's got that right to left on his kicking style, the swing of it.
So Money, he loves it from the pocket. Loves the pocket a little bit too much there, and that one's gone for a point.
For a point, do something different, kick a goal.
Couldn't have said it better.
6:25:61 to 2:8:20. We're out to a 41 point lead, Doc.
Yeah, both he's made a great point there. Kick a goal and have a go at it. Come on, fellas.
So Davies looks to try and kick it in, but the ball's just come around the line nicely to land on Quirk's chest.
Risky.
Goes short to Richardson, trying to get the switch happening here towards Miller. Miller can go and run. Morozov's chasing. Miller's not going at full tilt. Takes a bounce. Morozov's nearly got him. So he just kicks it further afield. Now it's going to be a foot race. Miller, Morozov, boundary line wins.
You think that was a deliberate grubber there?
Well, would have been out of bounds deliberately, couldn't it?
I think
what was his intention?
Yeah, just get distance and then run onto it. But knew there was a Berwick player. I think it was Westers waiting down there for it. So very lucky in the letter of the law.
I've just been texting asking what's the future of Cranbourne. All I can say at this stage is Cranbourne will continue to fight to stay, to get into the Mornington Peninsula Football League, but I know that all pre-planning for Yarra Rangers or the Outer East does include Cranbourne if they can't get away. So how long do they wait? We're not sure. As West misses is the intended target there of Shepherd.
Yeah,
going through
options.
Piper, trying to soccer it off the ground, but it's been cut off by Zeetzman. Zeetzman finds Tonner by hand. He just pops it up, hoping for Shinners to fly. He did everything but mark it there, Trent Shinners. He's done a tireless amount of work for Narre Warren today. Hasn't got the rewards, but geez, he's put his body on the line at times. And we're going to see the ball thrown up at centre half forward for Narre. They're trailing by 41 points. They've kicked 2 goals in the grand final. There's only been 8 goals scored for the entire match. We've actually had 33 behind scored. Can you believe it? Kick inside forward, 50. Scanlon bumped his opponent wisely out of the contest. Then took the mark, tried to play on, but his kick was partially smothered. The ball spills to Heddles. Heddles just hacks the kick forward. Crashing into each other there was Ryan Quirk and Seatsman. Thomas stands up, gets a hand pass to Basher. Basher goes to Brennan. Brennan can go short to Money, but cutting it off there was Ryan Quirk. Good defensive punch there by Quirk. He's been one of Narre Warren's better players over the 4 quarters of today's game. He's kept Money to only 1 goal.
He closed them off well there, kept him towards the boundary line, and then was able to get him with the punch.
Just kept his eyes on the football, got his fist in.
Knew where Money was.
And punched it away. So Morozov tries to push Wilson into the contest. The ball comes out there towards Andrews, who's spent the last 4 or 5 weeks out of the game, but it's gone straight back to it. As Tonner got the hand pass there to Scalzo. Smith just pushes Jack Tonner towards the contest. Tonner tries to keep the ball in play, couldn't do so. And the ball's going to be thrown in on centre wing.
Last 10 minutes of stave and execution right now. What can Narre Warren salvage out of respect for this?
A goal would be nice.
Goal, yeah. Goal to somebody, anybody.
Throw in. Tap down by Wilson, but
good luck with that, Shepherd.
Goes to Brennan. Brennan puts Shepherd under some pressure. Getting thrown out of the contest there was the Berwick player, Jellyman Turner, who earned a free kick as the Wickers got the ball inside forward 50, but Jellyman Turner will have this free kick at centre half forward. Haven't seen that umpire come back out, so he may have torn his calf. Jellyman Turner goes long. How can Money get so much space? But he was cleaned up by Davies. Doing the roving there was Tonner, who goes to McNamara. McNamara in his last quarter of football finds Myatt. Myatt's kick up towards Jackson, favoured West, who got a big punch away. Running over the football there was Myatt, getting hassled towards the boundary line. Hillard does well. Hand pass towards West. West blind turns but leaves the ball behind. Under some pressure there are the Narre Warren defence with Berwick working in numbers. But the ball goes out of bounds once again.
Well, I've hit the 20-minute mark of this quarter.
You've hit it.
I've hit it too. Hit the wall. Can we have the? Can we get the Tourism timekeeper out here?
The 24-minute mark.
The AC Demons have kicked away to a 13-point lead there against Essendon deep into that final term.
Good on them.
The dream lives on for Bernie Vince.
Yes, he might come back in. Back with the play. It's indiscriminate football. Trying to dive on top of there was Connolly, but it was Cody getting the soccer into space. Cody soccers it more, and Arthursson's run past him. Arthurson now tries to corral it.
No.
Both players have a run now, but Cody has the composure. Been quiet this afternoon. Oh, he's broke the ankles of Arthurson.
He'd had enough.
And then got the hand pass on the top to Jack Tonner, who goes long to a vacant goal square. Who's backing back first? Joe West. And does the right thing by his defensive teammates to punch it through for a behind. They go to 2-9-21. 40 points the margin. Geez, I was looking forward to this final SEFNL Grand Final, but it's been an absolute pain in the tooth to try and commentate.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, has it? It's just point after point after point.
Yep. What are we up to now? 34 behinds.
Could have been
8
worse.
goals.
Imagine if Berwick were kicking straight.
Well, I'd prefer to call goals all day.
Yeah.
Especially for the highlight reel. I'm only going to have 8 spots.
If you had as many goals as there have been points right now, you might have lost your voice though, KP.
Don't worry, we'd have a bit more interaction in the van too, probably. But the ball's going to be thrown in.
Oh, so who's commentating?
That's good optimism. I like that. Keep fighting the good fight.
We're 21 minutes into the final term. We've kicked 2 goals and there's still a chance. Don't think so, pal. As Connolly now gets onto the football on centre wing. Just pops it up there for money once again, diving, lunging. Ryan Quirk gets his fist to the ball. It spills to Shepherd. Shepherd from outside 50 goes long. Nobody's touched him. He got a goal. Can you believe it? Hooray! As Shepherd kicked his first goal. You're going to give votes on this, remember?
I got a silly question here. Who's actually kicked the most points today? That'd be
you wouldn't know, Doc.
It's a crazy conundrum.
I reckon Shepherd's kicked a few just quietly and Tuck as well.
There's been a lot of points kicked, and I'll be just interesting like they have on the commercial TV show.
Some comedy gold on the text too.
Point of the year, I reckon we could have in the grand final today.
It's Cole. Well done, Cole. Point after point after point. So what's your point?
There you go.
You like it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Better than we can do.
Yeah.
I reckon he's pointing too much.
It's getting worse.
It's getting
All up, thank God.
Point each other, it's not working.
Where's the wide pointer?
Centre wing out towards Asher, but running past him was Sorosinski, who punches the ball over the boundary line.
We're out of points.
Tumbleweeds.
It's a slow throw in.
Andrews comes back in with Brennan. Doc, Jared Healy, Kane Pollard, and also Billy Button's bun, the weatherman turned technical director here at KC Radio. Big punch there by Shinners, but backing after it there was Brennan. But the tap towards Smith, who goes to Basher. Has he done enough to win the $500 check? You better work out who's going to get the vote, Jared. We're going to do it very quickly after the game. As Connolly, can he put some cream on that cake? He can, from the pocket. Connolly's kicked his second in this final term. Can you believe it? We've had 3. And Berwick go to 8:20.
Getting excited.
8:25, 73. And
well, if we have a Tourism timekeeper here, you only got about 10 seconds left of the game, Jared, so you better hurry up with that.
Oh, they're putting it all on me now. Good on you, boys and girls.
3 goals, 6 in this final term to Berwick.
And Connolly's been good in spurts today. A solid game from Connolly. He's been there where it's mattered most, and congratulations to him and his teammates at the moment.
So throw up. Shinners gets outpointed this time by Young. Scarlett gets a tap down there towards Foote. Tonner did well to get the ball to Michael Collins, who decides to go long from outside 50. Wilson wasn't ready for it, and West did well to take the mark. So West goes short, but not really in the best position to mark there was Hillard, and cutting it off was Dylan Quirk. Quirk goes to an option in the pocket and over kicks it. Mind at full stretch, couldn't mark it. cutting it off and running away with it now.
Whoa.
Is Piper,
Oh, the
who's gone with an 80-metre drop punt. We're seeing some highlights now. Connolly couldn't take the mark. Richardson goes through, flat-footed McNamara, then he slips over, gets the hand pass to Shinners. He must be stuffed. The hand pass over to Richardson, who'll go short. Collins and Smith. Collins collects it with one hand, rides a tackle of Tuck, who was slung 360. Hand pass by Collins goes to Foot. Foot gets a bump, gets the hand pass to Scalzo. Scalzo goes short, and Quirk has, I thought he nearly grasped it, but the mark has been paid. Now Quirk has had a couple of shots on goal this afternoon. This will be his closest to the target from 35 metres out. Look at, I won't say that, I'll get in trouble, but
Some good junk time for Narre here, we
couple of
hope.
bald heads just waxing off each other in front of us. As Quirk couldn't get the distance from 35. I'm looking over there, Jared.
Yeah, looking everywhere at the moment.
That one goes out of bounds on the full, did it? It has. Didn't register a score. He should have done better. I know he'll be tired, but 35 out directly in front should have been at least a score. Risey will take the free kick. It's a mongrel. Young out of position. Sinners drops it. Tries to push off Smith. Gets some space. Has a shot on goal. Will clear the pack. Which way will it bounce? Wrong side of the post. And another behind. 2-10-22 to 8-25-73. That's right. 8 goals, 25 behinds for Berwick. As Piper now kicks it to himself, runs around Scanlon too easily and gets plenty of penetration on this kick once again. All the way up towards centre wing when McNamara takes the mark on his chest. Will he go to his teammate Collins? No, decides to go long. Miller's going to have to fly against 3, but Piper, reading it best, has taken a nice mark on his chest. So Piper goes out to the outer side wing where Tuck takes the mark. He's got Rutherford further afield, that option's ignored. So just happy to hold on to the football at the moment. Tuck, he's got his captain Andrews running in the space on centre wing. That option's also ignored. So Tuck's taking eternity. Decides to go short. And taking a nice mark there is that, no, that's Young. Running past Young now is Smith. That's corralled by Tono, who was up to that little hand pass out the back. So Young, like a ruckman, high, long, up towards half-forward flank, but cutting it off was his opponent in Shinners, who went to Collins, who now finds Nick Scanlon up the ground at centre half forward. Scanlon puts it into the pocket. Risley just gliding back with the one hand there, taking a nice mark in front of Jack Toner. He goes right across the goal face where Andrews takes the mark. He's got Hillard. That option's ignored, so he can go backwards to come forwards. He does that now with Tuck. So Tuck goes, sees Rutherford with his bright orange boots on a dark afternoon. Takes the mark on his chest. Is Rutherford in the votes today? He goes to centre half back where Heddles takes the mark. Running pass, received the hand pass is Smith. Hits it in one motion. Smith goes long, loose football. Richardson's there for the Magpies. Over the top hand pass to King. He was flat-footed but did well through traffic, found Shinners by hand and bang. That is the end of the SEFNL. The SEFNL was finished. The final dance is over. And the final score here, it's Berwick 8-25-73. Have defeated Narre Warren 2-10-22. They've won 3 premierships out of the last 4 years after having over a decade of added success. It has been a big day for the Berwick Football Club, winning this grand final by 51 points.
You got one. You got one. Hey, Cheers. How long have you been hanging on to that? It's flat as a tail. Skipper! Couple of cold ones! Well done, Harry. Valley Malone, man, Tuesday! Result, mate. Hello, where's the fluffy? Run, Harry. Valley Malone, man, Tuesday! Second Tuesday! Where are we going? I bought one while I was on the bench. It's on the ground. Stubby on that. And you said you were humble. Congratulations, well done. You must be really proud of yourself and everyone else. Yeah, the quad was so good. Is it always on a 45-degree angle?
Congratulations, they're all giving him absolute hell here. Mate, must be really bad. You throw your body in every week. Well too.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, appreciate it. Just glad we got the job done in the end. Yeah, can't believe it, mate. It's a dream come true. So
Good on you. Let's go. Thanks, Luke.
Show us the doctor applause.
We can't hear you, Doc. You keep cutting
That's
out.
all right. G'day, Jimmy. It's good, mate. Congratulations on the way in. Congratulations for coming back from halfway through the season to get now. Skipping your thing.
Definitely, yeah, it was good. I might do it again, actually. Yeah, 5 or 6 games and come back and win another flag. So I haven't lost a game at Berwick yet. So
Yeah, good on you. It's great having fun with you, mate. Good on you. Congratulations. Go enjoy the fun.
Head wobbling. He'd be on side 9 with the Bs.
How are you, Vic? You happy or what? Hey, mate. See? Every age.
They are absolutely on above the clouds right now, the Berwick guys. If I could have your attentions, please, we'd like to congratulate Berwick, the 2018 SEFNL Grand Final Senior Team. Thank you. Just before we go into official proceedings, we have an award to give out. Tim Allen from Insurance Visor Net's here on stage with me right now and has a $500 cheque for the best grand final player series in the 2018 season, just for the finals. On behalf of Casey Radio and especially Tim, who's been a great contributor for the SEFNL and Narre Warren and the whole competition for a long time, on behalf of Insurance Advisor Net, he'd like to award, who's the winner, Tim? We'd like to award Luke Shepherd. Congratulations, Luke, if you could come up on stage and accept your cheque. Thank you.
Well done, buddy. Thank you very much. There you go. Oh, no, all good. Make sure you get in touch with me. Yeah.
Thanks, Casey Radio. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2018 Berwick Motor Group SEFNL Grand Final Day presentation for the seniors, and congratulate the two sides in the last ever SEFNL Grand Final, Narre Warren and also Berwick. Terrific contest in pretty tough conditions. Congratulations to both teams. Well done. On behalf of AFL South East, we thank our corporate partners again, Stella, Totally Workwear and Chisholm, for their ongoing support to community football in the region. In addition to our corporate partners, we'd also like to thank our umpires for officiating today's game, who without their involvement it wouldn't be possible. Congratulations to the umpires for a job well done. As I've said a few times today, there's always a loser in a grand final. They've had a great year, finished the home and away season on top. They just came up against a well-drilled outfit in Berwick. We're talking of Narre Warren. If I could ask their coach Matthew Shinnis to come up and say a few words on behalf of his team after what has been a great year. Thank you, Matthew. Cheers, mate. Put that in front of you.
Thanks very much for the opportunity to have a couple of words. Congratulations, Stewie, and to the Berwick boys. Look, it's disappointing from our end when you put a lot of hard work in and the opposition come out today and trounce you. Thanks very much to all my players, the football club, our members and sponsors. Again, thanks very much to SEFNL and congratulations to Berwick. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And well done to the Narre Warren Football Club. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage a man who's done a lot for the Berwick Football Club over the years. 54-year servant of the Berwick Football Club, Cliff Donegan, and he'll be presenting today's AFL Victoria Country Best on Ground Award, which is voted by the umpires. I've had a few people say to me at half-time they already knew who they thought would win the medal. He's been a great addition to the Berwick Football Club this year. His father, of course, a legend of the AFL, Travis Tuck, number 5. You want to say a couple of words, Travis? You got that one and I'll get over you.
Obviously, first and foremost, thanks Narre Warren. They've been a great team all year. To our boys, put in a lot of hard work and got the result. Good work, and thanks for everyone coming out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Travis. Okay, well, let's get into one of the most important parts of the day. And that is, of course, the presentation of the medals. And Cliff will stay up with me, and he's got the very, very enjoyable task of presenting the medals to all the players of this successful team, their third premiership in the past 4 years. Let's start. Number 2, Lucas Jellyman Turner. Number 4, one of the men in the engine room, Bryce Rutherford. Another medal, number 5, Travis Tuck. 3-time competition best and fairest winner, back from an injury, one of the superstars of the Berwick Football Club. We'll get to him in a second. Sorry, Madison. Number 8, Ash Smith. Sorry about that. Good build-up, wasn't it? Sorry. Number 9, Brody Connolly. One of the more retiring types of the Berwick Football Club, Harry, the money man, Money. Number 11, Andrew Morozov. Number 12, Tom Brennan. Number 16, Luke Shepherd. Well done, Luke. Number 18, Riley Heddles. Number 19, Joseph West. Number 20, one of the many experienced campaigners in this side, Michael Risley. Number 21, Nick Hillard. Number 22, Tim Gunn. Number 23, James Magna. Number 29, Reese Piper. Number 41, Trent Thomas. One of the two ruckmen in this side, 52, Matthew Young. The other ruckman, 59, the tag team, Jesse Cyrilis. Number 64, Bailey Asher. 65, another young gun, the redhead, Will Arthurson. Good on you, Will. And I did get ahead of myself early. Let's welcome the captain, three-time best and fairest winner of the competition. Sorry, Madison, I made you wait a long time. Madison Andrews, number 7. And I'll get Bryce Rutherford, the co-captain, back up as well. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Madison. Still learning the comp, mate. We're getting there. And the coach, back-to-back coach, of course, for Premiership, Stuart Kemperman.
Where's that fucking?
And we'll get Stuart to say a few words. Next to you, mate.
Firstly, commiserations to Stewie Stevenson and Matty Shinners and everyone from Narre Warren. A terrific season. To our boys, fantastic work. I've said you're an incredible bunch, and you showed that today. And I'm just so incredibly proud of you and all the supporters and the committee members and everyone that puts in their time and effort here at the Berwick Footy Club. It's a fantastic place to be and a fantastic pleasure I have, a privilege I have to coach this group. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much, Stewie. Well, let's welcome up on stage another legend of the Berwick Football Club, Darren Gambetta, 150 senior games, 90 reserve games. He coached the reserves and seniors, life member in 1991, and he's going to come up and present the Premiership Cup to the two co-captains, Bryce and Madison, and also the coach, Stewie Kemperman, their third flag in the past 4 years. Well done, Berwick.